30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
We just continue to provide weapons and a little bit of support to Israel. It's just going to be half-assed, and we're never going to have closure on this. And this is the final straw. This is an opportunity to really put an end to this. But I don't think
5,000-pound nuke.
There you go. Say it, Gene.
Just clean it. Clean the land and start over.
There you go.
I mean, even though it's all in rubble, God walked on the rubble.
Wow.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We got so much. Oh, Lummy, I got my headphones back. I feel and I sound in my own little fat, stupid head so much better than those stupid-ass little earbuds I've been trying. They're professional. The professional, made for studio monitors, like the IFBs, like the television people use and musicians on stage and things like that. I got a professional set of inner ears, and because I feel as if, Lummy, my headphones are making me go balder.
Oh, jeez.
Faster. But I think I just need to stick with the going bald, gracefully going bald, where the headphones hit the top of your head, because I've been really just beside myself on how horrible I sound when I'm on the air. Now I sound like I'm supposed to sound. Even though I really didn't, probably to the fan or to the listener, I didn't sound any different. But in my head, I sound different. Isn't it all about what's in your head?
Yes.
At the end of the day?
Yes.
Yeah. Babyface here today. How you doing, Babyface?
Good morning.
Now, Babyface, please just, if I could make a suggestion, please.
It's your show, buddy.
Hey, Chris Christie's on the phone.
He's really in a stirring mood today.
You know what, Seth? It's funny after I've gotten mad about it and you hit me with it again. It's funny then.
No, I know.
It's so.
I know how to work, kid. Cuzzo. Cuzzo wuzzo.
So I don't want anybody, and I don't want you to think that I'm trying to neuter you or anything like that. I'm just trying to
mold you
into something that's a little bit more less headspacey for me, but still funny. But it's just not one right after the other. Just maybe every other one's a zinger, And let's also not forget how smart you are about other stuff in life. Way smarter than us about most stuff. And let's lean on your intellect as well, not just always hating on me.
I hear you, buddy. I'm sorry.
No. Let's and you know that we even had a conversation, and it wasn't.
Did you guys actually talk, or you texted him, Bubba? Because when you say conversation, I feel like you mean text.
We texted, but then I spoke to him yesterday.
Okay.
About today's guest, because I was really excited, because I was talking. By the way, today at 9:00, the John Morgan from Morgan and Morgan. I mean, he is such a rock star, and he's such a great dude. Yesterday, I just felt like, Lummy, I saw him. I think he was talking about the marijuana amendment, and him and DeSantis was going back and forth, and he said, John Morgan publicly tweeted or whatever that he would love to debate our governor on this issue. So he's been in the news a little bit. And then I think when Kamala got the, when they did the switcheroo, and he's, by the way.
He was pissed. He was doing interviews with Fox News.
Yes, he was. And so I'm like, you know what, John's always topical, but it'd be a good time to have him on and run through some of these. So I am fortunate enough to have a personal relationship with him.
Airtight makes a great point. Exploding pager, call Morgan & Morgan.
Oh, we should ask John about that. Are you put advertising over in Palestine about? I know.
Have you been injured by Gold Star pagers?
Call. Did you Pam Law?
Do you have a hole where your balls used to be?
Oh.
Morgan & Morgan for the Hezbollah.
So I actually am fortunate enough to know John well enough to have his number. So I call him, and he answers. He goes, "Well, hello, Bubba." I go, "What are you doing right now?" I said, "I can promise you." This is the type of dynamic we have. I said, "I can promise you." It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I go, "Hey, John, what are you doing?" And he goes, "Hello, Bubba." I go, "What are you doing right now?" And I said, "Oh, let me stop." I said, "I can promise you that you're not at the law firm in downtown Orlando." And he goes, "You be right on that. I'm in my beach house at New Smyrna looking at the waves. I got a margarita, and then I'm going to hit something about 5.
Was he in a freak off?
No, it was just him and I think his wife.
Okay.
Laying out in this, poolside in New Smyrna. Drinking margaritas.
Nice.
I can't think. I mean, Brian, if you had the money that on a Wednesday afternoon at 2:00, you and your wife could be in your 6,000 square foot oceanside New Smyrna beach home drinking margaritas at 2:00, you'd do it
every day.
Yeah.
If I had John Morgan money, man, I would never have John Morgan money because I would tap out way before that and be like, I'm good with this lifestyle.
Yeah. When John hit, 50 million worth, you would have been tapped out.
Yeah. I'm like, what am I doing? I can put that money in a place, make $3 million a year off of it in interest, live off the interest, and just be cool. You know.
I said, John, I need to have would you go on the show? And he goes, what time? What day? And I go, well, I'm good. Either tomorrow or Friday, probably right at 9. He goes, how about Friday? And I go, you know what? Actually, tomorrow would be better for me because I got a guy that's an attorney. He's a Democrat. He's and I think that he's a big fan. He admires what you. I mean, it's tough, Brian, for any lawyer. Probably in the country.
Is he the Howard Stern of lawyers?
I think he's the.
Oh yeah.
I think he's the everything.
Of personal injury lawyers for sure.
I mean, there's other different forms of law, but with regards to personal injury, which is kind of this. I mean, Brian, isn't that kind of the sexiest law to practice?
It's kind of it's funny because it's kind of like the plastic surgery of law
because some laws not like poor Gina, family law is just not sexy. It's just not. Poor
they
thing.
have the best stories, but no, it's just you got to work 3 times as hard for the money in family law. If you're smart, you're getting into personal injury.
Right. And so it's kind of the plastic surgery of law.
Yeah.
Where
that's where everybody wants to go.
Is that what they call ambulance chasers?
Kinda.
That's what people who are derogatory about our industry call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if Brian, you're right. It is mostly derogatory, but
is it your N-word?
No.
It is our N-word.
But sometimes
I feel attacked.
But sometimes it can be appropriately used when you got that Better Call Saul hack attorney that's just filing lawsuit after lawsuit, just trying to get something to stick. A little one guy operation that calling him an ambulance chaser is what he truly is. You know what I'm saying? The good ones that only take the good cases. Like you and the Diacos and Kevin, you guys aren't ambulance chasers.
Yeah.
But there are some hacks people that are hacks in your industry, that term would fit. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, look, you get bad apples in every bunch.
So
right?
if you're an attorney, personal injury attorney, and you don't say, "Wow, and you talk smack about John Morgan, it's probably because you're jealous.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you're jealous.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, they hate us because they ain't us. Size matters. Over 700,000 cases a year.
Remember that billboard?
I get 5,000 calls a day. Man, Brian, can you imagine if you got 5,000? Just statistically, if you only got 1%. That were really good cases. You know a good case.
Yeah,
Brian,
but not even with the size thing. That only matters in coffee cups and monster trucks, you know?
Boy, have you been working on that one? Oh, for how long have you been working on that one?
Well, apparently you don't listen to your own show and commercials. That's a commercial that runs on your channel.
I don't listen to commercials.
Maybe Jay's saying that.
Yeah, I don't listen. You think LeBron is worried about during the TV timeouts what commercials are running?
It's on Valley's West.
That was a good analogy, wasn't it?
You got it, Bubba.
I mean, I got you.
Just leave the show right now.
I got you. I mean, usually you get me, but I'm like, LeBron doesn't, whoever carries the Lakers broadcast, he doesn't worry about, what commercial is running during the timeout. He's worried about what they're doing the next play, pitch. So anyway,
that was Jay's commercial, anyways. By the way,
listen,
is it really?
Yeah.
What's 888
Diacos. Size only matters with coffee cups and monster trucks.
Okay. 888. That's what it's firm.
Okay, great. We got John Morgan today at 9:00. One of the reasons why I scheduled him today and not tomorrow is because I got Brian in here. I figured Brian could really help me, right with a lot of John Morgan stuff. I'm gonna talk about Amendment 3 and 4. I even got some of my notes. Going to talk about his views on, Kamala, because when they made the switcheroo, he's arguably one of the biggest Democratic supporters in the state. I mean, he has personal relationships with all the past presidents. There's one story, and I'm actually going to bring it up today, and I'm going to thank him just to validate the story, because I've seen some haters, let me say that, there's no way that I ever spoke to Bill Clinton.
Of course.
So I'm going to...
You're going to have them clear it up?
There's people that are really questioning that story. Why would you lie about that?
They questioned everything. Everything I say is a lie.
My mom used to cut Jimmy Carter's hair.
So, they said,
but I'm gonna have Jimmy Carter call in and confirm it.
Well, Jimmy Carter ain't talking. He's not confirming anything. He's 2 blinks for yes and 1 blink for no. That's Jimmy Carter's communication skills. But I'm just gonna say to John to verify. Hey, John, one of the coolest moments ever in my life, I just want to let you know, is because of you, and it was when we got Bill Clinton on the phone, and it'll be interesting to get his,
I'm so high, I just don't remember, Bubba.
That was.
I'm sorry.
I've probably talked to Joe Biden 100 times since then. No, I'm going to ask him, out of all the presidents, who did he have the closest personal relationship with?
Oh, it's going to be Bill.
Yeah, I know, but you think those are good questions? I'm going to ask him.
I think those are good questions.
I'm going to ask him if he's ever met Trump. I'm going to ask him what his views on these latest assassination deals. I'm going to. What else I got?
Do you really want to get him fired up?
Oh, yeah.
Ask him about the situation at the University of Florida with Ben Sass as the crooked, absolute inside stealing money from the university president who just resigned, but is like, he hired everybody from his DC time.
I know, but I don't want to get. Is that going to get John fired up? Like, he's not going to get mad at me for it.
No. He's just going to go off on the University of Florida. And
I want to listen. We're looking for clips, so like this would be a good clip.
And ask him who he thinks should be the new head coach at Florida.
Yeah, because he hates him.
He hates
Napier.
No, hold on. So you help me dance with him, okay?
He likes Dan Mullen.
I don't want to step on your interview.
He's a big Dan Mullen fan.
Okay. I'm gonna flat out just ask him. What is your opinion on Israel? How do we fix it? What's your opinion on immigration?
Well, what I really want to know is, will he run? Will he run for governor?
No.
Be our governor.
I actually have that too.
But I'm gonna plead with him to do it, because he's the only guy that can kind of reset us. We've got this incestuous. We've become a super red state. Which, whatever. I'm not speaking out against the Republicans in the state or whatever it is. It's that the pendulum has to swing back and forth if you want to maintain some balance.
But hold on, I absolutely agree. I'd love for him to be governor. But here's what's wrong with our state. I skew people think I skew red, but I am voting yes for 3 and 4, Amendment 3 and 4, which are more blue leaning than red leaning. So
I got a flyer.
What does that make me? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm for I hate the Democrats' immigration policy. I don't think that they're handling Israel. I think the economy is absolutely atrocious on them. But I'm also yes on Amendment 3 and 4, abortion and weed, which is blue skewing. So Brian, does that make me like a libertarian? Like what does that make me?
You're Republican.
Not really. You're a Republican that just is okay with abortion and weed.
Well,
and I'm also
Trump's voting for 3.
Hold on, I'm also Brian. I'm for this, and I've caught a lot of people really mad at me about this, but I am for a very, 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 very limited gun control. I'm for that. So I think.
Well, that would take you out of the libertarian category, by the way.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm my own person. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm voting for. I tend to vote probably Republican more than Democrat, but I'm not just a straight down the line pull the red lever deal. I actually have some very, very Democratic opinions.
I'm a Clemican.
Perfect. There you go. Great.
I sent you the article.
What's that, Lummy?
Oh, that where Trump says he's voting for 3, and that's causing a little split in the Republican Party in Florida.
Man, I think he's at this point just trying to hang on for dear life.
He's also voting for the abortion thing, isn't he?
He's voting for. I think he's voting yes on both 3 and 4.
There you go. So he's just like you. Follows the line.
Yeah. Florida pot amendment divides Republicans between DeSantis and Trump. I don't know. I really think DeSantis has really, really just screwed the pooch on his second term. I really do. Listen, you know why the reason why we're voting for for the abortion deal is abortion 4 or 3?
4, I think. 4.
Okay. The reason why we're voting on 4 is because dumbass Ron DeSantis locked it down so much. Did we have a trigger law? Like a lot of states did when Roe v. Wade got overturned. A lot of places had it, like Alabama and some of these really, really red states. They had a trigger law that if that ever got overturned, it instantaneously on the state level was illegal.
No, that was signed into law, I think. Let me double check that.
But Brian, wasn't there some states that had trigger laws that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, then instantaneously their starting point was it's illegal?
Yeah, I don't know if Florida was a trigger one or one that got passed.
I think Florida was one that got passed.
Yeah, we passed that as a bill. Yeah.
But at that strict, we passed that strict?
Yes.
Meaning?
Because we had a... we had a 15-week...
No. Hold on. So Florida legislators passed it.
Well, but then the governor could veto.
I know, but it went through the governmental process.
Yes.
This is the first time that it's been thrown to the people.
Yes.
Okay, great. And it's going to pass, you watch, and the people of Florida want to be able to have abortions until about 23 weeks or so. That's what we want. Maybe not what you want, but the majority being 60%, all amendments are not a 51-49 deal. Amendments specifically, I think, Brian, have a higher threshold.
60%.
Yeah, so,
require what we call a supermajority.
Right. So all amendments require, at least 60%. I think they said weed's skewing like 64 and this is skewing like 61. Do we have any latest stats on?
I think weed was even higher than that.
I think weed might have been 67.
Yeah, I think that's a 68.
Yeah, weed's locked in.
Weed's locked
in.
Yeah.
And then listen, I hope, Lummy, that in 2 more years or 4 more years, whatever the next election cycle is, when they can refine the rec law and make it so that people can grow it themselves. That's I think that's John Morgan's stance is let's pass this, probably because he owns 4,000 dispensaries.
Yeah. I don't think he wants the rectum.
I actually do think Morgan is. I think John Morgan. I'm not going to.
The abortion one's going to be close.
Is it?
Yeah, 55% of this latest poll from September 6th.
55. Okay, so
55 said yes. 20% said not sure. So they've got a margin of the not sures.
So they need 5 of the 20%. They need 25% of the undecideds to flip over, and they're good.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's just horrible if they don't overturn this and they make it 5 or they keep it at 5 or 6.
But then and Trump's kind of been wishy-washy on this because according to this article, Trump made headlines when he said he thought the state's 6-week abortion ban was too short. However, the next day he said he will vote against 4. So he's been kind of playing both sides of that, which is smart on his part politically.
You just play both sides.
Play both sides of it.
Are you reading where his polls are going? His poll numbers are going down. Like
yeah,
he was at yesterday at 40. It was like 50. It was like 57% Kamala and 43 him or something like that. I don't know if it was that big of a disparagement, but it's something of like 7 or 8 points.
Don't get caught up in the nationwide numbers. They're irrelevant. You got to look at the state level. At the state level, Pennsylvania is razor thin. It seems like it's going to really come down Pennsylvania. It's looking like Trump's got the inside edge in Nevada, so he's likely to flip Nevada.
How about Georgia?
It's looking like he has the inside edge in Georgia, so he's likely to flip Georgia. It's going to come down to Pennsylvania and Arizona.
Hold on. So just like last time when we did 4 years ago when we did the election show with you,
yes,
and it looked like the popular deal was going to Donald and we actually
not to Donald. That was definitely going to Biden, but yeah,
no. But early on, we were pounding our chest.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, early on, before Fulton County came in, before that sleeper cell of Arizona, before that sleeper cell of Milwaukee, you were the only one. Mommy, we actually ended the show saying, Trump's the guy.
Yeah.
When we wake up tomorrow morning, Donald Trump's going to be the president. And Brian was the one that said, I think you were on the phone. I don't think you were in the studio.
No, I was here. I was physically here.
All right, cool. I need you physically here this one, too.
I know.
And then you were like, let me tell you, guys, we're going to go to bed tonight, but these are all, I wouldn't be surprised that if Georgia flips, Wisconsin flips, and Arizona flips. And if that's the case, and it might have been Pennsylvania too, because the Philadelphia.
It was definitely Pennsylvania, yeah.
And you go, and so and if that happens, this is going to be a blowout for Biden. And we're like, Brian, what, you shovel-faced stupid son of a bitch? Shut up.
Well, and that's how
and you were dead on.
When people talk about, it's a conspiracy and how. I was calling it that night. I was telling you guys that this is exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, even before the Democrats cheated, you were calling it. Say it.
Obviously.
I'm just saying, even before they padded the numbers up, you had it called stock. Bone stock, you had it called.
Obviously, I'm a part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
But no, it was you know these, if you follow politics, if you are wonky like I am, like I'm not at the watch the numbers point yet because there's a lot of time that can go on. But around October 15th or so, I start really studying the numbers and looking at the polls
and counties.
In depth. And then from there, I can kind of come up with what's going to matter, right? Like this is what's going to happen.
So you're saying right now it's a you call it in Pennsylvania.
Oh, it is so thin in Pennsylvania. It is going to be. That's why. I mean, you don't even. They've both spent like 2 weeks there after the debate.
All right. You're saying he looks like he's going to get North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. I think Trump will probably
did he lose
carry
North Carolina last time.
No. He won North Carolina.
So let's just talk about the big flip states that he lost.
Flips,
which ones?
Georgia, Nevada are going to be flips, and then it's going to come down to Pennsylvania.
And so at that point, that's where the election comes down to, right?
Yep. Yep. And,
So
and you can tell by the amount of time and money they're both spending in Pennsylvania.
Where does Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio go?
Minnesota's going to be blue. I think Michigan's going to be blue, although the news yesterday that the Teamsters are not endorsing a candidate is very intriguing because I don't know the last time that's happened.
I saw a poll yesterday where the United Auto Workers, it was like a 57-43 Donald Trump, within them. I saw that yesterday, where the United Auto Workers are endorsing. He's leading by, quite a large margin for the United Auto Workers. So would you say that would make Michigan a you pick 'em?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the numbers coming out of Michigan yet.
I sent you a website, Bubba, that it looks like they take like 4 or 5 polls from each state and put it up on it.
I love really rudimentary for stupid people websites on me. I love them. I really do.
This one's pretty easy to read.
All right, let me see here. All right, there we go. And this is, let me pull over for people to look at. Is today, okay, what's this asking?
Exit out. Oh,
Lummy. See, you said Lummy.
No.
Well, what do you mean? It's the X.
No.
It's an ad. It says ad.
Okay, and I'm Xing. Look, X.
Oh, no.
I can only put up what you send me, lover.
We're slowing down on the backstretch.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Lummy. This is perfect.
Beaver.
Would you guys stop? Jesus.
Brian.
Everybody. Hold on. Lumby, don't yell at Brian when Seth was the obvious aggregator. He went right to the Beaver deal.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Trying to just get to heat.
I was backfilling while you were trying to cancel out the ad.
Okay, thanks for the backfill.
Thanks, Seth.
So, Brian, this is probably more what you need to really look at. Instead of saying, hey, popular poll has this margin, this is really where the elections, because everybody knows Indiana's going to go red, and everybody knows that California and New York and Massachusetts and Maryland,
the coast and the Northeast are going the way they're going to go.
They're going blue. They're going blue. Florida, where are we?
It's gonna go red. Don't fool yourself.
This has Florida.
Don't buy into
red.
the Florida's in play thing. It ain't.
So as it shows, Harris, just by popular vote, is up 2.8% national. But you start breaking down the things that really matter. New York's not in play. Here you go. Pennsylvania, that's a pretty big 2.6%, but that's within the margin of error, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, and the other thing that I think is a wild card in some of these polls that hasn't fully baked into the cake yet is RFK dropping out and his 3 or 4%. Where is that going to go?
Yeah, because that makes a difference in a 2.6%. Right?
Yeah, and you got to understand that these composites have a margin of error usually of like 3.5%, right. And so anything within that margin of error is a crapshoot.
All right, so Pennsylvania's a pick'em.
Yeah.
At Georgia, as much as Trump's up by 1.9, it's still a pick'em because it's within the margin of error, right? Look at Maine. Look how 13% for Harris.
Yeah, but the thing about Maine is they have one
electoral college.
Or something like that.
It's a split. They have two different.
Yeah, it's a district that Trump's going to win.
All right. So let me see.
So he's going to get one of the 3 votes out of Maine.
Here you go. It breaks Maine down to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Maine District 1 has Kamala up by 27%, but District 2 only has Trump up by 1. But
they're favored in the Hunger Games this year.
All right, so Michigan, I'm not going to go through all of them. Harris is going to win New Hampshire. She's going to win
Massachusetts.
Maryland. So yeah. Okay, so Trump's going to win Indiana. Look at Indiana, 17. So the states that are going to control the election within this particular poll or this graphic are Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan,
Nevada,
Wisconsin, Arizona.
Wisconsin ain't in play at this time around. She's going to take it.
She's only 2-2.
Yeah, I know, but I've got a pretty good read on these things. I'm telling you the states right now. It's going to be Arizona will be in play, Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Those are going to be the big 4 I think this time around. I'll throw Michigan in there, but if she loses Michigan, she's not winning the election.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so Ohio, because of the J.D. Vance deal, right? So you got that. That's
Ohio's not up for grabs. I know the whole, eating the pets thing is been a thing. But
Well, it's a problem that has to stop, Brian.
Yeah. You don't
So
want
who's going to stop
you don't
it?
Want you don't want your pussy eaten. I'm just saying, right?
No, you don't.
You got a pet cat. Next thing you know,
They're taking geese too, Bubba.
and
ducks.
real dogs.
have you ever
dogs.
had geese?
No. How about North Carolina? It says
It's decadent.
North Carolina. What you,
North Carolina, yeah, that's up for grabs. I still think Trump will take it, but it's up for grabs.
let me see. I'm finding some more. Okay, blah blah blah. There's Arizona. Arizona. I think Trump takes Arizona.
It's going to be close. And
So which three of the pick'ems does he got? Does it all come down to Pennsylvania? Pretty much.
Pennsylvania is a huge one. Huge. I think that
Right now they got Harris at 2.6.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a reason why they both spent 2 weeks there after the debate. Like they didn't leave Pennsylvania except to go to New York.
Do you think the people of Pennsylvania? Do you think here's what's going to happen? Trump's going to win almost everywhere in Pennsylvania except for pockets of Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and that's going to be enough to win the entire state.
Well, you can win land. I mean, it's not land doesn't vote. So yes, wide swaths of the country and gigantic districts where there's more cows than people vote for Trump. That's fine.
I understand
It's
that.
a numbers game in these states.
So are you calling right now, Thursday, September 19th? What are you calling Pennsylvania?
I mean, right now I would give a slight edge to Harris, but I think that there's still time to influence it.
If he wins Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, but loses Michigan, and Wisconsin and Minnesota, does he still win? I think he does. I think Pennsylvania.
I think Pennsylvania,
with
Georgia, and Arizona might be, with him winning Ohio, might be enough at that point. It would be that would be the scenario that's extremely close if he wins North Carolina as well. Then in that scenario, I think he wins slightly, like in probably the closest electoral college margin that we've seen in a very long time.
What has been the closest electoral college victory ever? Has there ever been? They make it so you can't tie because you need 270.
So there's a map you can go to. It's
send me the electoral.
270 to win, where you can
him.
click on the states and turn the battleground states a certain color and see how that would impact the numbers.
Oh, right here. Oh yeah. Listen, I want to be on time today, so I have plenty of time with John. So I'm gonna go to break. But can we play this game next?
Yeah.
We pick them. I like this kind of stuff. It's fun. Seth, want to play?
Oh, God, yeah.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
So right here
For Kamala.
Hold on. So right here, if you go
Blue Michigan, blue Wisconsin.
no, hold on.
Oh, can you just get 1 degree down?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So, but I'm gonna start with this. But let's say you go Arizona red. What's Nevada going?
Red,
Red. Wisconsin blue.
blue.
Oh, but see, there's different shades.
Yeah, but that's just likely that you don't. Any shade of blue is going to count the numbers towards the Dems.
Okay.
Any shade of red or pink is going to count it to Trump.
Okay. I just want to give it more. Okay. Minnesota. Let's make it a little bit more bluer. Just do it. Okay. So Michigan. Where do you put that, Brian? Blue.
Well, this is a fun scenario. So
Hold on. So let's
put
not
Michigan blue. Put Michigan blue. I'm going to show you how close it is.
Okay.
Now put North Carolina red and Georgia red. There you go. Who's it down to? Pennsylvania.
Look at
Kamala
this.
wins Pennsylvania.
So hold
She's
on.
president.
251 Democrats.
Yep.
260.
On B is what Brian was talking about.
On what?
On B, if you want to click it, pot 3, put it in Q.
B. Where's B?
That's what Brian was talking about.
Oh, okay. All right.
Size matters when talking about coffee.
All right. All right. If we go there.
It's there if you want it. The other
All right.
stuff's in there too for you, right below it.
So, Brian, you're right. Like, you're.
And that's why they've spent the last 2 weeks there. Their internal numbers are looking at it, and they realize Pennsylvania's the key state.
Yeah, she wins Pennsylvania. It goes 270, 268.
It can't get any closer than
which
that.
is probably
Well, that would be the closest ever. Because you can't get closer than that.
You can't. You can't.
Because otherwise you have a tie.
And it's made so you can't have a tie.
No, you
I don't
could.
I don't think you can have a tie.
You could.
You can?
I think so.
And then
theoretically you could. If like say that one district in Nebraska that the Dems win, if Trump was to win that would be 269.
So then what happens?
In a tie?
Yes.
I think a tie. Well, it's not. I'll tell you this right now. It will not happen in this election.
No, I understand.
Right. But if it were to happen, I think it goes where one of the houses picks the vice president and one picks the president or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder who does what. Well, let me look it up. Maybe you can look it up.
Let's see here. Here we go.
More? Dude, I gave Craig a Rio can every time they come in, and we were out, so I gave him a plastic bottle. Craig's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "He's like, I don't drink this, man." He's like, "I'm bougie now."
Yeah, it's can only.
Yeah, he won't drink out of the plastic.
Right.
He seriously won't drink out of it.
For real.
The House chooses the president and the Senate chooses the vice president.
And so who's got the majority in the House?
It would be
Republicans.
No, that's up for grabs.
Well,
I would say in an election that turned out that close, the Republicans would likely control the House.
My beanbag's up for grabs.
It always is. If your beanbag belongs to Brandy Love.
You are the one that fucked her fleshlight. I mean, like, what?
You're like, why would I want that when I'm trying to get the real thing?
It's raining out, guys. Just
I saw her screw one of her followers, and he was wearing a bluey shirt. His face was blurred, but he had a bluey shirt on.
Oh man.
Maybe we can get one of those John Morgan singing things to in the shape of a weed plant, a pot leaf that he can sell. And
what do you mean, like Trump trout?
Like Trumpy trout.
Like,
I know that's
Johnny's joints.
Johnny joint.
Yeah. Let's just stop with it. Thanks.
What?
Johnny's joints.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army now returns.
John Morgan on at 9 o'clock for the people. Size matters. Largest personal injury firm in the world. 700,000 cases they try each year. 5,000 phone calls. He's my friend. And he's a big-time mover and shaker, just in general. I mean, not just in Florida, but I mean, I was looking at their website. You should see how many California offices they have.
Oh, no, they're huge. Kentucky, California, Massachusetts, New York, Florida, everywhere.
Like, if you go here, man, I mean, look, I mean, I think they might be in, I don't know, they might be in every state.
He's got the Ronnie Munn commercial that's running nationwide.
Ran it in Times Square a few days ago. But like in California, they got, I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got 7 offices just in California.
Well, California is like 3 states. I mean, you can
look at Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 offices in Florida alone.
Greg Laser, $20 super chat. Counting big old.
Brian,
stay safe out there, girls.
How do you even keep up on all that? Like, I mean,
you do the best you can, right? They've got it's such. I wouldn't want it. I mean, people are, oh, don't you want to be? No, it's way too much work. Way too much. It's just too big.
Well, when you're him, though.
No, he wanted it. I personally, wouldn't want it.
He built it, and now he can sit back and watch it.
Yeah.
I
mean, sort of watch it. You can't watch it. You don't know what's going on.
Hell yes, he does. He knows when they're winning the big checks.
Well, that's about it. Yeah. He probably knows whenever he has a huge trial on hand. That's
exactly.
Yeah. But on the day-to-day, and why would he worry about that?
No, hell no. He's talking to Bill Clinton.
He's
talking to us today at noon. I'm sorry, today at 9 a.m. He's talking to us and I'm going to try to clear out the commercials so that I have 6 burnt at like 8:50.
Oh, perfect.
And then we can sweep him clear till about 45, and then burn 7, and then burn 8 late. So
I like to burn 8 late.
Yeah. Let me the merch crick. I guess we do have size 15s on the Bubba Army Fat Man Dunk
perfect
slides.
How is she doing, man?
She's doing good.
It's tough.
She just lost her mom about a month ago.
Yeah.
And we're doing an October celebration of life thing. I think after that it'll get a little easier for her.
No, because then the holidays come up. No, man, it's going to be tough.
Well, I'm going through. I'm a year and a half ahead of her of losing. My stepfather. So it's just it's tough. Not that I'm
No, both of you, it was completely unexpected, and that's I think makes it even more difficult, right?
And then add talk. I mean, if we're just talking about family and what upsets you and what keeps you up at night and what makes you cry, and you put on this facade of Johnny Radio guy, and I think I mask it well, but deep down I got a lot of issues. I'm still sad about losing my stepfather. I'm sad about losing Merch Crick's mob and
Hootie.
I'm not sad about that, but I'm very sad that I'm going on this February. It will be 3 years that I've not physically seen or physically talked to or communicated with in any way, shape, or form my son. And for all those that have children, can you imagine going 3 years and never getting to hug them, never getting to talk to them, you don't know where they lay their head at night, you don't know anything about them, nothing, zero.
No, that's sad, man.
I mean, that really, really.
It's going to get even worse if he ends up having a kid.
Well, I don't know.
No, I mean worse for you emotionally.
I mean, it's pretty bad right now. I mean, it's just like, and then when you lose somebody like Merch Crick's mom or my stepfather, then you only value relationships and life even more. And I think, well, what happens if, I die and I never got to say goodbye to my son, or my son never got to say goodbye to me? Maybe that's what he wants, but I'm just saying, like, it's tough. It really is. And, She's tough. She's been through some adversarial things in life that were very, very tough, and she's a tough woman. She really is. Plus, she's got to deal with me.
Yeah, I see her posts online and stuff on how much she and her mom, how close they were, how much they cared about each other, and it's got to be brutal.
And now she has the painstaking task of making all the arrangements, making sure all the death certificates are in place, and that the division of her will is executed, and this person gets that, and this, and going to her house and clearing out her stuff, and that's tough too.
Oh, that's brutal. It's brutal.
That's the worst. She's going through her mom's clothes and going through her mom's pictures, and just It's tough. It really is. But anyway, Lummy.
Baby Prime, $20, $25.
Well, my heart goes out to you, Merch Crick, and I know I can't do anything, but if she ever needed anything,
well, I'll tell you what she's doing is she's packing and shipping slides, and if you want to get
He's keeping her mind off things.
Well, honest to God, I'm not kidding you.
Oh my God, it's been 3 weeks already. Can we please get over this? What's for dinner?
He's not breaking any of the rules, Bubba. I don't know. It's okay to laugh. No?
No, it's funny.
I don't know.
It's funny.
I don't know what to do.
It's funny. It's funny. It's funny.
You know what your mom would have wanted? She would have wanted Ron and Topeka to get his slides.
Anyway, Lummy, I didn't know yesterday that we had a size 15.
And 14.
We do, and 14. I would say that they're running about a half size small. So like if you haven't ordered yours yet and you're an 11, I'd probably. It looks like we were sold out of 10s and 11, and we only have 12s, 13, 14s, and 15s left. And so if I was a 12, I'd probably order a 13. They're all gonna fit. They're gonna be fine. It has a lot to do with you got to stretch out the thing that goes across your toes.
Yeah, you got to work them in.
Yeah, you got to work. Most sandals are kind of tight. When you first get them. So I think you'll like these.
What size are you, Bubba?
I'm an 11.
Okay.
That's what I am. And I tried a pair of 11s on with socks yesterday, and they were a little snug, but I had socks on, so that probably. But they did fit. My heel was within the margin of error. So go to Bub Army merch, Bub Army store, BubArmyShop.com, and get your Bubba slides while you can. We've sold out of a lot. We pre-ordered them, Lummy, then I ordered like an extra 100, So we've almost sold out of those extra. But the ones that people pre-ordered, they're getting shipped, daily. Nice. Hello.
Good morning, Bubba. I sent you a video of what I'm going through with my son recently on Messenger.
I saw that. And let me describe to the people what I saw, if it's okay for me to describe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I can't play it because it's your son, and 2, he uses some pretty colorful language. Your son is how old now?
17.
He's 17, and and he still lives at home, and he's got like another year of high school to go. And
well, he doesn't live at home now.
Okay, well,
he's with his girlfriend and the mother.
All right,
her mother.
Just like my situation. So what I saw, what this guy sent me was a video, Lummy, of this kid who's walking out the back door into the backyard, and he is cussing and calling somebody a piece of shiz and a fat ass and all, like he's calling somebody a fat ass and a piece of shiz. And come to find out, it was his father. You can see his father, this guy, walk out following him. And it looked like you weren't. I don't think you said anything.
No, it's just gotten to the point where I can't do anything. But then 2 days later,
and what made him mad? What caused this event was you came home and he hadn't got his chores done yet, and he had one more, like I don't know, maybe take the trash out or do the dishes or something. He had just one chore left, and he decided to play video games instead. And you told him, hey, you need to get your chores done. And he said, I'm playing video games. I'll get to them afterwards. And you're like, you better do them now. And I think that's what triggered the video footage that I saw.
That's exactly what triggered it.
And so now, how long ago was that, and what has happened since then?
That was about a month ago. And since then, he has gone and moved in with his girlfriend and their family, but they can't handle him. So now he's coming down to Florida to be y'all's problem with mommy.
Oh, well, I mean, at least he's coming with his mother, No.
I've raised him. I've had him his whole life.
Oh, so hold on. Hold on. So you've had him his entire life, and it's been good enough until it's not good enough, and then so now mom, who has not participated much at all, she's the saving grace, and she's saying, "Come on down."
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, kids suck. Now I see why they have late-term abortion.
Yeah, now, hey, that makes it, man, 4 has never meant more than it ever has.
I mean,
man.
outside the body abortion has got to be a huge thing now after hearing these stories.
You can board them up to 244 months.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Seth,
bud.
we're talking about Smallwood, Seth.
Oh, man, I had no idea. Dude.
What's Smallwood?
That's a son. That's a son.
Yeah, this is Longwood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is Longwood.
Well, it'd be Shortwood.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel for you. I mean, your trek of not having a relationship with him has just begun. Fast forward to 2.5 years. That's where I am right now. And it's all at the root of a girl who, I guess I could get along with, but thing about it is, his mother and stepfather and I are all on the same page. We all have, we're all like, we're over it. You go back and forth and juggle which set of parents you can work or will allow you to continue your bad behavior. And we finally have kind of gotten all on the same page. And we're like, you need to, I want to have a family intervention. All of us sit down, but that's not going to happen.
Maybe you guys can.
Are they putting something different in the vagina nowadays or something? Because I don't understand why they get so crazy over it.
It's the preservatives, man.
Yeah, it's right. It's the preservatives, and they make the penis get like specially
addicted.
Yeah, addicted to vagina for where it makes your brain go crazy. Where back when we were, the preservatives we had made us want to go get. Once you got some, you wanted to get some more, maybe some new stuff. Try some new stuff, Lummy. Not get all locked in on one.
Not locked in on one.
Try. We had a little bit more of a variety pack mentality than they do now. Right now, they lock in on the first. They lock on the first piece they get. I want to get that variety going a little bit.
And here's one of the crazy things is he wakes up every morning, he's listening to you, and he knew the whole Tyler situation. And I told him everything.
Do you think he's listening today, or he'll hear? You think he'll hear this show?
No.
So probably his girl has made him not listen to this show because she probably hates it, and he's so pee-whipped that he does what she tells him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't get it.
Anyway, Longwood, I feel. Trust me, I feel for you.
He'll come back.
That's what they always say. That's what everybody tells me.
Well, you gotta leave it on some sort of positive note, Bubba.
Sure.
What do you want me to say? Hey, he's never gonna see you again. Have a great day.
That's where we're headed.
But
if we're gonna be honest with each other,
we can switch the BTLS Foundation to name and call it like the Cats in the Cradle Foundation to help dads that are dealing with this.
I'd rather just.
God damn you, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Longwood. I'll see you later, buddy.
Have a good morning.
The Cats in the Cradle Foundation.
I'm all for raising money, Brian.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it goes to the right people.
Mm-hmm. Lummy, you sent me this map during the hot mic. Brian is in his expert. I will listen, man. He is an expert at this. He called the last election when we were all knee jerking, Lummy.
He's no John King.
Oh, he is.
Oh no, he doesn't know counties.
He does know counties. Last time we had
Maricopa
for last time we did an election show and it was Trump versus Biden, Brian was breaking down Fulton County. He was breaking down the county that Philadelphia sits in. He was actually in some Wisconsin county by Milwaukee. He's like, all these are going blue. It's going to flip the state. We're like, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. We're going to bed. Trump wins.
You don't want to hear the bad news that Brian was telling you was ahead.
So Brian and I strategically flipped where Brian thinks they're going to go, and this is why Pennsylvania's in play. If you go by what his opinion is, and which, by the way, just to validate Lummy, his opinion, he was dead on the last election.
Yes.
Brian calls Arizona Republican. He calls Minnesota Democrat, Wisconsin Democrat, Michigan Democrat, Ohio Republican, North Carolina Republican, Georgia Republican. Now, those are all the big swing states. Now, the one state and it's the graph that I'm showing now, take every state and they go that way, and we've yet to determine where Pennsylvania goes. Just as it sits with Pennsylvania not in play, it puts, and by the way, you need 270 to win the office. It puts the Republicans at 268 and the Democrats at 251, which goes to, so if you flip Pennsylvania blue, it goes 270 to 268. That's how close this election is.
Brian, is Virginia not in play?
Not really. The Dems are going to win Virginia. The Republicans are going to win North Carolina.
Not out of Roanoke. I've heard Roanoke's really looking red right now, Brian.
Yeah.
Your boots on the streets down there.
Listen, he's not the only one that knows about cities and counties and stuff like that. Roanoke, Virginia Beach. I heard there's a lot of buzz for Trump down there.
Newport News.
Yep. That too.
So let's just say it goes by the way. Arizona, let's say it goes that way. You put Pennsylvania blue, she wins by the smallest of margins in the history of our election, 270 to 268. You put Pennsylvania red, and it goes to now it's a little bit of an ass whipping, 287 to 251.
Well, and you can see how important Pennsylvania is, because even if she were to win Nevada and Arizona but lose Pennsylvania, she loses the election.
Yeah, like
even if she were to win Georgia.
Hold on. Let's put Pennsylvania red, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll switch things around. Let's throw Arizona blue. Guess what? Donald Trump still wins by 6.
Throw Nevada blue.
Put Nevada blue.
Now anything else blue and she'll win, but she's got to win 3 states if she doesn't win Pennsylvania.
She's got to win North Carolina or Georgia.
Right.
That's if she wins one of those 2, she's locked.
Is North Dakota in play?
Oh, super. Yeah.
No.
It's not. Okay. All right.
And by the way, North Dakota, they only have 3.
They let the Moose vote there.
Brian, when you got a state like, Montana or North Carolina or North Dakota or South Dakota, and you're only dealing with 3 or 4 electoral votes, and it pretty much goes always red or always blue. Do you even go does Kamala even go there?
You might make an early stop. Typically, this has been an atypical election cycle with 2 assassination attempts and a candidate change.
Right.
But
I mean, you're right.
But in a typical election, you would probably make like an late August, early September stop to help a Senate candidate or some sort of pet, bill or something. You may make a quick stop in a state like that, like spend 2 hours there before you fly on out. But in an election like this, they're not making stops in those states.
Man, Pennsylvania is. I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, and like I said, you don't even need to be an expert. You just need to pay attention on where they're spending their time and money.
And I don't think that she's going to take both Arizona and Nevada. I think Trump takes one of those.
Right, but it's irrelevant. Under this map, they become irrelevant unless Michigan or Wisconsin go red.
Right.
But under this map, Nevada and Arizona don't matter. The Pennsylvania's everything with this setup.
Now, do you think? And what are the polls showing, Lummy? 2.8 for Pennsylvania, Harris, 2.8?
Yes.
So you don't think that, Brian, him getting the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania doesn't help him out a little bit? Some intangibles that could potentially help him in Pennsylvania?
I think that does. I think I expect a Trump assassination attempt in Arizona, possibly in Michigan. We may see him all over the country if it helps his numbers.
Well, I don't. We're not going to have to worry about him getting shot on the golf course much longer because Elon Musk yesterday tweeted out that he's making a bulletproof golf cart for Donald.
It's going to be like the Pope Mobile. It'll be the Trump Mobile.
He said, working on a bulletproof golf cart for Trump. Just need to install the bulletproof glass. You like it? Is that not badass?
That's pretty.
That is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Trump's going to forget to plug it in though, and he's going to be pissed when he comes out the next day.
Dan's already ordered one.
Elon, if it could be a hybrid where it had a gas motor and an electric motor, I'd like it a little bit better. Hybrids. I don't want to be completely, on the electric green. Maybe even make it a diesel. I don't know. I mean, but that's badass. And Lummy, can you imagine how much it weighs if it's bulletproof?
Oh God, yeah.
Hell, he may not be able to drive it on the golf course because it might leave ruts in the.
Well, that's you're right. That's cart paths only. That's cart paths only.
You're not driving down the middle of the fairway because you're leaving ruts with this 10,000-pound thing, right?
Trump will get on his Segway to then ride to his ball.
Hey, listen, man. You know what? The United States government might buy a bunch of these because when the president's going from the plane to maybe the FBO or something like that when they land. A lot of times they'll have a welcoming line or what have you, but there's other times they have to shuttle them, here and there. Why not shuttle them in something that's bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that...
Why? We're doing good with just putting human bodies around people, Bubba. Why not? Well, why do we want to go to, bulletproof mobile?
Are we doing that good with human bodies? Because we've already got 2 licks in. I mean, right?
Yeah, but the way that they surrounded Trump after he got shot, I think is the way that they're supposed to do things before he got shot. So I thought that was, very inspiring.
Brian, I'm going to keep this map up. And, as we get closer, will some states start to poke their head out as to where they're going to go? Like right now, I got Arizona. I know you got to actually put Arizona and Nevada as a you pick 'em.
Well, if you want to talk about the toss-ups, it's Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Minnesota's not up for grabs.
So what? So Minnesota's not. Is Wisconsin a toss?
Barely. Barely a toss, almost leaned down.
How about Michigan?
That's a toss-up.
That's a toss?
Yeah.
And you said North Carolina, too, right?
North Carolina
North
as well,
Carolina.
yeah.
All right, so let me see. There's the toss, and without the toss, you got Democrats 226 and Republicans at 219 without the toss.
Yep.
And so, again... out of the tosses, what are the ones that are locked in? They're gonna go red or blue.
I don't think there's any that are locked in. But
really?
Out of the tosses, I would say the most likely to go blue is Wisconsin.
Give me one red and one blue lock in.
I would lock in Wisconsin blue.
Okay, hold on.
And based upon the numbers I'm seeing right now, the one that's remaining there that I would be most confident in
for Trump
would be Nevada for Trump.
For real?
Yeah, I think he's going to take Nevada
with the no tips on.
Yeah, and just the mail vote is so hugely skewing his way in Nevada.
All right, well that puts you if you lock those two in 236, 225 Kamala.
Right.
So again. It really does matter where Arizona goes, where Georgia, where North. It's going to come down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states. That's where it comes down to. 5 states.
I mean, realistically, it's unless somebody runs roughshod, it's going to come down to. I just don't see it not coming down to Pennsylvania.
So let's say. I think Georgia's a lock for red.
I think it's pretty solidly going to go. I'm not solidly, but I think Trump wins it by a point.
And then give me Michigan. I think you give Detroit. I think you give blue to Michigan.
I think it will go to Kamala, but again, it's a toss-up. It's too early to tell at this stage of the game.
I know,
we still have 48 days.
Especially with that report yesterday, where the United Auto Workers,
and the Teamster Union did not formally endorse any president.
What if that goes blue?
What do you mean, red?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What if Michigan goes red?
If Michigan goes red, then she has to win Arizona or North Carolina or Georgia.
And I don't think
that scenario, she would have to take one of those other 3 states to make up for the loss of vote in Michigan.
Wow. So, I mean, again.
Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. She would either have to take both Nevada and Arizona or Georgia or North Carolina. That she would in order to make up for those 15 lost votes there.
Right. If she loses Michigan, man, she's got to have Arizona and Georgia. She's got to.
No, she would have to. Well, yeah,
Arizona and Nevada.
No, Arizona and Nevada. Yeah, she would just have to win one of North Carolina or Georgia at that point.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where if you're losing Michigan, are you winning in those other spots? And it's more unlikely than not. That's why I'm saying is like Pennsylvania, she could win Michigan and lose Pennsylvania. I could see that's a possibility. That's a possibility.
It's going to be a nut tugger. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, don't buy into any 3-0. It's a 4-point lead nationwide. Who gives a crap? This is going to be razor thin once again.
How I mean. Will they? I mean, they might as well just set up camp in Pennsylvania. They might as well just live there.
Well, they did.
Just want to let you know that I'm getting a big-time condo outside of Philadelphia. I'm going to be there all the time.
Doing meet and greets every day.
Doing meet and greets on South Street. Lummy, sunny days.
Yeah.
She's a MILF. And she is an OnlyFans girl.
Yes.
And she is also Bubba Army royalty. She qualified for the party this year.
Yes.
I think she's going to attend the party.
Yes, she is.
I don't know if she's single or not, But there was a particular guy that we were thinking about trying to maybe hook Sunny Days up with.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Seth was being a complete hater on it.
I know. I don't know why.
Well, I think Tuttle's fine. I don't think you need to hook
Tuttle's not in play for this one. We got somebody else in mind, and we can't really talk about it on the air, but you were like, kind of C-blocking the guy.
Well, I know. I just think that he's I don't know if he's a freak-off kind of guy.
Oh, he's a freak-off kind of guy.
Oh, I bet you he's a way freak-off guy.
He seems like
sometimes the most conservative people that roll around are straight freak-offs.
I mean, I just don't, having, nothing with an OnlyFans woman, it's a lot to handle, Bubba.
I know,
with a woman doing these things where she's naked and getting penetrated and stuff.
I'm just saying, I think I would say that he would want us to help push that deal.
I think so too.
Maybe I'm gonna text him privately and ask him if he wants. Ask him if he wants us to push. If we get a hold of Sunny Days and ask if she'd give him, give him a
nut tugger,
a session,
or maybe she's single and looking for a guy.
Yeah,
she's not a prostitute, Bubba.
No, she's an OnlyFans girl.
Right, but I mean,
same thing.
You're not like Diddy all of a sudden where you'd be like, hey, can you, suck my man off over here?
No.
Maybe they have things in common, Seth.
Okay, we have Sunny Days, who's Bubba Army royalty, and she's coming to the party, and she's an OnlyFans girl, and she's a MILF. And I'm phenomenally thankful for her being such huge Bubba Army. That's the highest echelon of Bubba Army you can be. We have another Bubba Army person who, Lummy, I think we could maybe match them up with if, one, she's single, or two, she just hooks up with dudes a little bit. Maybe her husband's I don't know if our guy wants to go on camera, though.
Probably not.
Yeah, our guy kind of would probably want a private session.
Yeah, probably maybe even just like a little dinner date and see what happens.
Dinner date and oral.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
what are we doing here?
Lummy, I have to go to words, but listen. I brought up the Sunny Days deal because I think last year she qualified as the guest? Every year for Barb, we pick a fan.
No, she didn't. That was Snizzle last year.
Okay, Snook. Okay. Well, and once you've qualified for once, you can't qualify again. We have to give everybody a chance. So, Snook, you're out of the running. Plus, Seth hates you. I'm just saying. That's the 100-pound elephant in the room, please. So, Lummy, here's the deal. We have to pick this year's fan. Now, does a fan get a +1?
No.
No, I don't think they do. Well, I mean, if... Maybe.
Depends on the...
Yeah. So, Lummy, we're going to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Between...
Hot chicks only. Come on, man.
We don't have a lot of them.
I asked if there were any, Brian, just to kind of even out the...
There's got to be some. If you're a hot chick, call in. We're opening our lines.
No, just a chick. I think just a woman.
Yeah, no.
Preferably attractive.
I'd rather have a dude than a pig.
Yeah, also because, listen, once you get a guy to come maybe once, he may invest in the show and want to keep coming.
Yeah. No, my vote would be for a dude over a heifer.
So it's got to be an attractive woman or a dude.
Yeah.
And Lummy, is it pretty much, do we narrow it down to just the people that are in chat? Is that...
Yeah, that's how we've
really
done it.
The only people. It's really the only people that we can size up as to what type of personality they have.
Yeah,
And by personality, we mean looks.
We usually have thrown it out to chat, and they usually give us a top 5.
We throw it out to chat.
Yeah,
and chat helps us determine. It is a chat thing. You really got you guys are right. And so, Lummy, I think over the years when we do the fan Bubba Army +1, we've thrown it to chat. Chat gets on there and says, hey, this person here is true Bubba Army. They always got your back. They're here every day, sticking up for you. When Snook's trying to be a dick, they stick up for Seth, whole 9 yards. And Lummy, they kind of help. Chat kind of helps us, navigate through who wins this prize.
Yes.
And we're gonna do that tomorrow. We're going to do that tomorrow on tomorrow's show.
Perfect.
Svarvar wants to come from Iceland.
Well, we take that in consideration. Let me, when I return, I guess I got an email from the real John from Naples.
Yes.
And he is retiring from the parody song game.
Yes, he is.
And he has written one last song.
Yes, one hurrah.
Fantastic.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
From Iceland, would you? That'd be crazy. Could you imagine if we filmed this journey from Iceland to Tampa, what content that would be? 2,000 clicks at least. What up, White Rhino?
You mean Captain Iceland Mike? What's up, White Rhino?
So it's pretty much going to the best chatter.
Pretty much. So Bubba Army Mom got. Bubba Army Mom shook me.
She won?
Yep.
I just been telling everybody, like, I'll get him into the party, like, next big thing.
Tell Guru, oh yeah, you should sneak up through the fence.
Well, I mean, not like, hey, you're not getting a ring, but you can get some free pizza and hang out, you know?
You better not be doing that, motherfucker.
No, it's with people that listen. It's with supporters of the show.
Well, it's still. It then waters down the people that deserve to be there.
No, I understand.
No, I don't think you do.
No, I don't think I do either.
Yeah, well, you're allowed +1, Phoebe. That's it. It's all. And Merch Crick works the door, and that bitch has got a gun on her.
Yeah, but I'm like, hey, this is my brother. I mean, come on. I mean,
she's gonna be on the lookout for you.
Okay,
trying to fucking scam your way into shit.
Scam my way in. Come on, is Dan gonna play the national anthem on?
No,
no,
nothing like that.
Wow,
we're not having any marriages.
You mean you want to have like a serious party this year?
Yeah, let's just.
Wyatt said Clemmy Kush is becoming sex therapy for him. It's very nasty, Wyatt. I had no idea that we got so heavy into periods on that. So I listened back to it.
You had heavy period day?
Well, we had Bubba's got a,
Sorry, I was over here upgrading my Southwest boarding. You get 4 free upgrades a year with the Southwest Priority credit card.
Where are you going?
Vegas.
For a fight night?
No, it's just wife and I trip.
Oh yeah, you staying at the Cosmo?
The Aria.
Oh, that's okay.
That's a fucking high dollar one.
I get it for free.
You get Aria for free?
Yeah, 3 nights.
Could you name your daughter after it?
It's the iHeart Music Festival out there. You guys want me to report live from the iHeart Music Festival on behalf of the Bubba the Love Sponge Show?
I do. Troy, hey, can Troy Nelson come, Bubba?
Who?
Troy?
He doesn't sound like a hot chick.
Come to who?
Come Bart.
For what?
To fucking party.
No, if he didn't qualify, I mean, if
are Rio and Craig excited for Bart?
Yeah. If the fans vote that guy in, yeah, but otherwise, no.
No, I'm just saying my guest list.
Seth, I swear to fucking God.
Seth's got a pretty big guest list.
He needs to quit fucking with me right now. I'm vulnerable.
So it's gonna have a tent.
He's got Drew Garabo's coming.
I bet John Senning would come. He'd have to go into a disguise like Jake Paul, but I bet he'd come.
So you gonna set a tent up next door?
I don't want to have a dueling party, Lummy. I just want to be able to.
Hey, Stefan.
Get prospective people in here, you know.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, when she comes in, tell her I need her Southwest card information so I can upgrade her booking.
Oh boy.
Thanks. Bye. If not, I'll be riding at the front of the plane. She's gonna be on the back of the bus.
Face baby prime.
I happened to meet one time with Heather. I had to upgrade. I said, and she had to kick. No, it was her and I traveling, and I had an upgrade.
And you took it?
Yeah.
And that's when she met the spin instructor. Sat right next to him.
Now see, Brian, that's that.
It's not on the list, buddy.
Hey, Snook, we're all good. I love you, man.
It's not. You want to add it to your list?
No, just stop.
I'm not in Rumble right now.
So,
but I love
Bubba,
you, Snook.
also the Howard is up there too.
Oh yeah.
It's right below the radio.
I got it.
Good, Snook. actually don't have a lot of people I hate right now.
We got some great dinner reservations made in Vegas. I'm excited for it.
You going to In-N-Out Burger?
Pretty much.
Hell's Kitchen?
Did that last time. I did that with...
The Orlando Content House Shindig. It's going to be a bunch of dudes doing stuff dudes do. Happening November 15th and 16th. If you want to come see this freak show, email us orlando@BubbaArmyHQ.com. Let the crew know if you want to be registered for Friday Night Fight Night. Orlando@BubbaArmyHQ.com. The BTLS show now returns.
Today at 9 o'clock, John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan. Lots of great stuff to ask him.
For the reefer.
We've now officially lost one of our three. Well, I think we lost them all, and I'm sorry. I think we've lost two of the three.
Yes,
listeners.
No, parody guys.
Oh,
but it probably correlates to listeners. We used to have, of course, John from Naples.
Yes.
The real John from Naples has just written me an email and submitted his last song. We have Dark Match Steve that continues to churn him out. I think he just, as a matter of fact, Dark Match Steve had a new offering yesterday, the Craig and Rio song.
Yes, he did.
And then Carlos Mandico has seemed to.
He just had one. I think he just had one like a week or two ago,
Carlos?
didn't he? Yeah.
Did he, Lummy?
No, but he's making one.
And John from Naples is still active.
Oh no, he's active. He's just busy.
Yeah, so is Carlos. Carlos is still in chat.
John's reached out to me to collaborate.
Okay. Well, anyway.
No, I'm just saying. Like this week, he reached out to me to collaborate on a.
Carlos is still in the game. Dark Match Steve is really in the game. He's our main guy, and John from Naples is taking a little bit of a break. Here's the latest from Dark Match Steve. We just. Man, did they get a chance to hear that?
No, I'm going to play it for them on the next Pigmentation.
Oh, so they haven't heard it yet.
I'm pretty sure they've heard it because they listen all the time, but I'm going to get the reaction to it on the show next week.
So thank you very much, Dark Match Steve. Lummy, this comes with email from the real John from Naples.
This is sad.
Hello, BRN. Hopefully, Bubba reads this. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be part of your show, contributing with humor and songs. It all started back in 2015. By the way, Brian's trying to do his Southwest upgrade for him and his wife while hosting the program.
Yeah, it's not going well. I'll tell you, they don't make it easy when you have two different accounts. It's frustrating.
Did you know they're going to the Bunny Ranch, Bubba?
You're so horned up, Seth. Makes me worry about you, bro.
Anyway, it all started back in 2015. Yeah, you might want to look at him as the problem, not me.
I'm horned up because I'm spitting facts.
Well,
this guy banged the fleshlight. I'm a pervert.
Well, I mean,
that is true.
Is he going to the bunny ranch? Is that inside information you have, or did you just spurt that out?
I'm assuming he is.
Yeah, you spurted it.
He's projecting. It's classic projection.
It's where he wants to do, but he didn't really have the balls to do it.
Exactly.
Well, he wants to go to the bunny ranch, but he didn't.
He wants to hook up with
hookers,
Air
Force Amy,
sunny days, and
right. And that's you know what? That's why he's C-blocking our good friend that we're trying to hook up with something.
100%. That's right.
He wants just like he was following Brandy Love before we even had her on the show.
I was not following Brandy Love. Brandy Love replied to a tweet that I put out on your account, and I said, "Oh, look at this! Brandy Love replied. Let me get her on the show. That'd be great. What do you think?"
Let's look at your Twitter following and see if you follow her account.
Go look at it, Big Daddy.
Anyway, back to poor John from Naples. He's trying to quit, and I'm trying to read his letter.
Oh, sorry,
we're getting a sidetrack with Brian picking up hookers at the Bunny Ranch, and him trying to get an upgrade over his phone with Southwest app. It all started back in 2015 with Mark Madness. This has been a great honor, and I will treasure the 3 rings that you were so generous to give me over the past 4 years. The last one I wanted to be very special, and literally it's taking me months to complete. It's a great promo for your upcoming documentary. I saw that your former parody guy buried you in a similar song, but I always like to put you over. Yes, Manson did do a song that's similar to this, but it wasn't. I don't like the. Let me. Was it his entire career? He always buried me, or is it just towards the last 2 or 3 years it got real bad? I think a lot of them in the early on were funny.
I started listening heavy in 2001, Bubba, and he was riding you then.
I will say this, Bubba.
He was riding you, but they were funny because it was kind of the whole show at that point.
I will say this.
And be fair when you say it.
Okay, let me be fair. Hold on.
Put your fair cap
no,
on.
I did.
Compared to your dick cap.
So
I like fair Brian, not Dick Brian.
I just put in my fair butt plug.
Okay, go
rather
ahead.
than my
other one.
Told you
not
this guy's
fair.
a pervert.
Right.
I think when you were riding high on the hat and successful, that the songs came across funnier because it was higher hanging fruit.
Right.
I think as your life began to crumble into the shambles that it became became mean because he was now punching down, not punching up.
Yeah, you know what? I agree.
And then I also it seemed like towards the end, especially the last 2 or 3 years, they were a little more vicious. It wasn't as fun loving. It was very frequent. It was every single song was a burial versus in the past, there'd be a funny one from something that came on the show.
And then they do a Hatley song.
Right.
And then they do, a Spice Boy blasted Akira song.
But towards the end, it was 100% about you, 100% mean and nasty. And again, it felt more like punching down than going at somebody
here's what I can understand. That all these people that worked for me as co-hosts that have gone on, there's really only Shannon has gone on and been able to be self-sufficient and continue to be a radio guy and be relevant and good and he was an obvious number 1 guy, and he was just playing a 2 role as a stop on the road with me until something came along, and I had no problem with that. Shannon, I love doing radio with Shannon, but he's a number 1 guy, and you get 2 number 1 guys. We never got any fights or anything like that, but number 1 guys want to eventually go out and find a number 1 job, not be a co-host. But everybody else hasn't been able to do anything that would resemble a radio career, or even being self-sufficient and being able to have a staff, have a building, have payroll, pay the bills,
goats,
have goats, have just nobody has, but they get together and they talk so much crap about me, but they were never at their most famous and never made more money than when they were with me.
Well, that's why they hate you, because they're mad that they're not here anymore. But they realize that they needed you.
Yeah, well, but all they do is just clown me and how dumb I am and how I messed it all up and all this kind of. I'm still able to make a living at it, and you got to sit here and live like you're Al Bundy from Married with Children and talk about the good old days. I mean, give me. That's all your show's about. Talking bad about me. I'm like, man, do you have anything else to do? Go out and do radio. You're so damn good. Go be a host. Have content for the past 25 years that you can aggregate through different platforms.
I mean, I don't want to speak ill of Mike Waters, but I do know that after he left here, he was trying to get a job with Calta.
Oh, I know he was.
Yeah,
please. So anyway,
that was a mistake by Calta not hiring him. That would have been good for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, though we just broke 2 of the rules. Son of
Let's
a
just
gun.
stop.
Oh man.
Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, as I have a video with it too. I will continue to be Bubba Army, but can't pump them out like I used to. However, I may send a random one down from time to time. I still am a daily listener and consumer of all things Bubba, and really hope that the documentary sets the record straight. And it all starts today with this song. Thank you, Lummy, especially, and Seth for providing me quality entertainment. I love you all. The real John from Naples.
Oh man, that's sad.
But I don't think this is a quitting of us. This is just I can't pump them out like I used to. I may be able to throw 1 or 2 out every once in a while. But,
he's setting expectations.
So,
he's saying, "Hey, look, I'm giving you this.
I'm tired
morsel.
of Bubba saying my name and where my songs."
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here, please take this peace offering. When I can get you others, I'll get you.
Now doing food reviews.
Man, what production.
That was pretty good.
That was really good. Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have a timpani for him?
Well, I got a...
What happened to the timpani?
Well, I mean, it'll get trademarked sometimes. But
no, the dun dun dun. Yeah, there we go.
So he wants to collab with you, Brian?
Yes, he reached out for a collab.
Who did?
John from Naples.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He would like me to help him with the lyrics, and then he will produce the songs, which I think we could become a good duo based upon his...
like a Hall & Oates kind of deal.
I'm Oates.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You never want to be
Crosby,
Oates
Stills,
or
and Nash.
Garfunkel.
Yeah, you're right. You don't, because you're just you're jobbed.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
second
Paul
out.
Simon, amazing at his career afterwards. What Garfunkel? What art do?
Yeah, right.
What art do? And same thing with Daryl Hall. He had Daryl's house and all that. What did Oates do? Oates is like even in Lucky Charms he was second fiddle. The Oates.
Daryl's house was great TV.
Yeah.
All right, so
Did you have Daryl on once?
Yes, I had. Did I have John Hall?
No,
or Daryl?
you had Daryl Hall.
Yeah,
John Oates is the other guy.
Yeah, and Daryl Hall's the star of the deal.
Yeah.
John Oates. Who that
porn stash.
That sounds like a breakfast cereal.
Yeah,
it does.
Are you the rugged man that's looking for something that has a little fiber in the morning? Called Eat John Oates. John Oates oatmeal. Lummy, I guess Macho Man. Thank you very much for getting this done. My Lord, it's so great to have an engineer that gets like you tell him you need something, and then just mysteriously it gets done.
Now,
but I don't have to ask 10 times. Worry about getting ripped off.
One thing I would like to ask is, would you be able to have AI make you something similar to what John from Naples did and see how it sounds?
No, because I tried it.
Did you retire from AI, Bubba?
I'm not talking about AI. Because the faint, like it's just.
But you paid for the whole year.
I know.
He got us $49 worth.
Did you ever hear your song?
Yeah, I did. It was actually one of the better ones. Yeah. It was actually the hook on it was pretty good. I know everybody else got a love song and I got a hate song, but that's okay.
But I'm not going there anymore because everybody was just so.
I think it's funny.
Here's the deal. If I can just whip one up every once in a while to bust some balls and it doesn't end up being an anthem that I play and play and play and play and that I think that it has any more longevity than one or two plays, then I think that could be a funny thing that we do from time to time. But the fans don't understand my vision. All they want to do is just be a bunch of dicks. Which I know you understand, and rather than to say, occasionally Bubba whipping up a little parody song with his little AI generator deal, it could be a funny gimmick from time to time. But they completely took a crap on it. I forget what the guy's name was.
Nolan.
Oh, Nolan.
Everybody loves Nolan because he busted my balls and
Nolan
said,
whining.
So I threw a fit. I was like, screw you, Nolan. Somebody should have blocked him.
I think he is. I haven't seen him since.
He may have been murdered. Nobody has seen or heard from Nolan since that day. I will say this, Bubba. Is there a way? I'm interested in this AI song program.
Such a dick.
Are you
no, I'm not being a dick.
I'm
being serious.
Are you being for real?
I'm being for real. Is there?
Because now maybe you've learned a new way to be a dick, and that's ask a dickish question.
No.
It seems sincere.
It seems sincere.
I want to know.
All trying to accentuate your dickness.
When you type in what you want it to do, is there a way to make it a little more complex than baby face, I hate him, or Janie Cakes,
the
good
more you
mom?
type in, the closer it gets.
Yeah, you can be as detailed as you want with it.
You could get really detailed where I think they would incorporate that. So I think if you type more in than 3 words in with your caveman brain, that it would maybe produce a better song.
Well, maybe you and I could look at the app together and navigate through it.
Yeah, I would like to, because I don't want to close the door on this AI chapter just yet.
Well, you're not the one that determines whether the door is open or
closed.
I
didn't say. I said I don't want to close the door on it.
The
I know
fans
you
did.
ultimately.
The fans closed the door. They were so mean-spirited and such a dick that day.
And that's your art, Bubba, right? I mean,
it's my art.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
As Rhett said, the more you describe it, the better the song is.
Yeah. That's why I don't think we're getting quite the level of description that we need to
I got
get.
other things to talk about.
AI is limited by what you're feeding into it.
You're not going to be able to drag me back into the AI game. If the fans took a shiz on it, they were mean to me about it. All started by an asshole named Nolan.
Neil Mount Plaisir, $10. Go.
And
I think it was one guy who complained, right?
No, hold on. Nolan brought it up, and then Seth, you'll have to be on. Everybody piled on.
Can we get a chat poll on this? Can we do that on one of the platforms?
Why are you trying to hurt Bubba?
I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to show him that people.
You know what? I got to stay on time today.
Yeah, Brian.
And quit getting me down paths that are going to get me out, so that I can't spend 45 straight minutes with John Morgan, which would mean I need to have 6 breaks burnt by 8:50.
AI, make an AI song that says I close the door on AI. No, but I want to pull. I think that the people like it.
Nobody popped on this deal and he got freaked out. Little shovel face son of a bitch.
I thought it might have been a high spot to go to break.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a high spot to go into break. Is that my my unbelievable engineer, Macho Man? I'm so thankful for you getting this done. But I asked Macho Man. I said, "Hey, Macho Man, big time, like, iHeart shows and things like that with." zillions of dollars of budget. You can say, hey, I don't want to say her name. Hey, Rhonda, play, you can say the show's name or a radio station's name, and she will play it for you. Well, Macho Man has got it done for us.
All right.
Let me show you. Alexa, play the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
That bitch.
Oh, man.
Alexa, good morning.
Help me,
morning.
Rhonda.
Or should I say, Avast ye. It's International Talk Like a Pirate
All
Day.
right, Alexa,
So
shut up.
ask me to
Big
talk
E
like a
7275,
pirate, or I'll make you
$50.
walk the
Yee.
plank.
Thank you.
Arr.
Yes, well, talk like a pirate, bitch. All right.
She wants you to talk like a pirate.
Right. Alexa,
you wench.
Play the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
To control a video device with your voice, you need to connect it first. In the Alexa app, go to Settings,
Mach, you
and
already
then
did
TV
this.
and Video to get started.
Mach did this morning.
He's full hot right now.
Yeah, try Alexa open the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Oh, see, that's okay. Alexa, open the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Okay, here's Play Bubba Love Sponge Show.
La vida está llena de ¿y si?
¿Y si se chinchera? ¿Y si se enfermara realmente?
Now, Mach, will you be able to fix the play/open gimmick? Maybe.
Yeah, I'll do some research on it.
Talking about the commercials.
We'll listen to some Mexican commercials.
Yeah, it's targeted ads, I believe.
That's Mike Rose's job right there.
It's called Spanish. Haz clic para aprender más ahora.
We got some Mexican commercials.
Estaciones de la póliza cobertura proporcionada.
Are we getting like a cent for this?
Your Plans Inc. que opera como WellPoint Florida
This guy's
Inc.
definitely
Maryland
illegal.
WellPoint Maryland Inc. En Texas, compañía de seguros WellPoint.
They're going to think I'm a Mexican radio
So
show.
ask me to
Big
talk
E
like a
7275,
pirate, or I'll make you walk the
$50.
plank.
Thank you.
Arr.
Yes, well, talk like a pirate, bitch.
There
Okay,
it is.
good. All right, there you go. All right.
She wants you to talk.
Alexa, stop.
I just said that.
So it works. Mach will fix the open verse.
Yeah, so basically they need to enable a skill. You can search by Bubba the Love Sponge show and it'll pop up, or you can search Bubba Army show, or you can search the Bubba Army.
I know, but they got to go in first and enable it, right?
Correct, enable the skill.
So they needed to say, what do they need to say? They need to, if they have an Alexa, do they have to? What do they have to tell her?
It's easier to just go on your Alexa app on your phone and enable it there.
What are you enabling?
The skill.
The skill.
Yes.
All right. If they didn't have the app and they wanted to verbally tell that to her old girl, how would they do that?
Alexa, enable play the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Okay. And then she will play the Bubba the Love Sponge show. She'll also play.
We hope so.
Alexa, play Bubba Army show.
Getting the Bubba Army podcast from Amazon Music. Just so you know, while you're listening, you can ask me to fast forward or rewind by any amount of time,
Oh, I didn't know
like
that.
5 minutes. Now for your podcast. Here's episode 1204, Bubba exclusive podcast Vertical Bar
that's pretty
September
cool,
18,
isn't it, Seth?
2024
Yeah.
Vertical Bar Clem and Kush.
Passion, drive, and patience. All right, cool. Championships is also what keeps your... Stop. So it'll play our podcast, too.
Man.
I like your idea about changing Alexa's name to Rhonda, because then you just be like, help me, Rhonda. And that would be, they missed it on that one.
Some of your stuff's falling flat today, bud.
I know. I'm trying to be nice, and my nice humor sucks.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
That stuff your dad listens to.
Dude, I love the Beach Boys. Pet Sounds is one of the
Of
greatest
course you love
albums.
the Beach Boys, shovel face.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less than a
Shovel-
shovel-faced fuck like you.
Shovel
The fuck
face
they wanna
is my
hear,
alter
She's so
ego.
fine, my 409, my dual quad posse
Giddy
traction.
up, 409, 409. You're my little deuce coupe, Bubba. You don't know what
my
you
little
got.
deuce coupe. You don't know what I got.
Little deuce coupe, you don't know what I got.
Oh, God, you got me down your fucking pathetic path now. Why don't you go do what you were going to go do? I got to write
I
some
think he was
notes.
gonna come poke his head
I'm
over
peeing right here. I'm just peeing on the floor. I'm going to blame it on Scout later. Bubba, Scout took a giant human-sized shit in your gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing.
Oh, okay.
Shitting everywhere and blaming the dogs. It's called Amber Herding.
Oh my God, he's on fire today, isn't he?
Woo! Shovel faces on fire. That's a little more recent song for you there, Bubba.
I don't think he knows that one.
I understand. Alicia Keys, this fucking song.
Alicia.
I'm surprised he really fucking faced
No,
us
he
on
did.
that
He
shit.
faced us on that.
I did. So
got
you guys can
shovel-faced,
suck my
bitch.
fucking dick.
Shovel face, bitch.
I'll suck you off when you're on your period.
You're really a pervert.
You just told me to suck his dick. I'm following up.
What?
I don't
told me to
think I
suck his
said
dick. I'm following up his comment with another one.
I don't know, man. You're really horned up.
Yeah, man. We might need to get sunny days for you.
Yeah. Sunny days that I thought would never end. Miss lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I only want to see you one more time again. Who's that, buddy?
James Taylor.
That's right, man. James Taylor.
You can't fucking beat me.
all the hits.
You can't beat me on music.
No, I know.
Perform at the DNC.
I mean, you just need to know your role on the music deal.
No, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Could you remove Brian with your good hand, please?
Yes, come on, Bob.
I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, everybody, start.
Shit.
Check them out.
What a day. What up, Danny? What up, Grouper Lips? What up, Brian?
You can't do him.
Whew. You get a good burn on that one, Sponjo?
Yeah, I'm having shoulder problems. So
Like Dan?
No, like I have a bad shoulder, but God, look at Jen Epstein. Look, she's under her hair now, more dark. Oh fuck, that bitch is on fire. But I have like a flare up, so I'm trying to work it out.
It's a Blasi, the one with pasta.
I got you on the flare up, Willie. I understand.
If I listen
Long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe that it's all true. Knowing that you lied straight face while I cry. Still look to find a reason to believe.
Is that true?
What?
Best airports?
What?
Best big airport in Minneapolis, worst Newark, best large, John Wayne.
You just snowplowed our fucking duo,
Dude,
man.
we're over here Rod Stewarding. That's the new internet craze. It's called Rod Stewarding. It's when two guys get together and just start singing a Rod Stewart song.
Yeah, at the end of the fucking song, one guy comes in the other guy's mouth and fucking, and then the guy has to get his stomach pumped out the fucking emergency room.
Well, that's one way you can end a Rod Stewart.
No, I mean, that's,
I know.
Really, if you're gonna be an authentic Rod Stewarter, then you got to be all in with the deal.
It's the new TikTok trend.
So you sing a couple fucking Rod Stewart, then you think I'm sexy, man, and then you fucking
if you want,
then you fucking suck your buddy off. He dumps his nut into your fucking gullet.
Jesus Christ!
And you got to go to the fucking Advent Health.
Okay, all right. Jeez,
I got you, Mach.
When the sign said long-haired freaky people need not apply.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal,
products,
Venmo, and
BLP has
Cash App,
everything.
all at the Bubba Army. Now returns.
Need not apply.
Alexa, stop.
Okay, I've stopped the stream.
Supposedly, Macho Man has fixed it. Alexa, play the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Okay, here's Play Bubba Love Sponge Show.
La vida está llena de y si.
Everybody's gonna think that I'm a Mexican.
Enfermara realmente. ¿Y si no fuera solo una beca?
Tanto miedo.
Can we get a hold of the herd and say, listen, stop playing the Mexican? We want American ads.
Y ahora aquí también para ti con planes
Half of everybody's already tuned out. They're like, man, this is a Mexican show.
Se aplican exclusiones y limitaciones de la póliza. Cobertura proporcionada por En Florida Simply Healthcare Plans Inc., que opera como WellPoint Florida Inc. En Maryland.
We better be getting top dollar on this commercial,
Seguros WellPoint.
It's targeted ads.
Yeah, get used to it.
I know what it is.
You keep looking at Mexican porn, and that's what's going to happen.
This is the Alexa. This is the Alexa feed right here. So, it's working, buddy. Macho Man, thank you. Macho Man, thank you.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal.
Alexa, stop. There it works. Lummy, it works now.
Woo!
John Morgan today at 9 o'clock. Lots of stuff to talk to him about. Him in
Hopefully she
3.
doesn't go in our period again.
Yeah. And you have other commands as well, do you not? Now,
let's not confuse her.
Okay, you'll go. You're going to have to re-go through those to make sure she's.
Basically, they will work, but the listener has to pick which one they want to use, and just stick with it.
John Morgan today at 9 a.m. where size does matter, unless you're J. Diaco.
Size matters when talking about coffee cups and monster trucks, but when it comes to selecting a lawyer, bigger isn't always better. At Diaco Law, you'll be represented by the Diacos, the attorneys whose names are on the door and who have lived, worked, and served our Tampa Bay community our entire lives. When we say at Diaco Law, we will take your call, it means that we will represent you. You won't get that kind of personal service with a mega law firm.
Lummy, we need to run that on Bubba Army HQ.
We do.
And we need one from Brian with Hunter Law.
Come on,
Brian, like I'm being for real.
Hit in the face by a shovel.
Would you like to be represented by a lawyer that looks like a shovel face? Or a hot Barbie blonde? Call Hunter Law. That's
Beauty
all.
in the Beast Law Firm.
Beauty in the Beast Law Firm. Lummy, this is Howard. He was a couple days ago talking about us.
Sure was.
Was he making fun of my business template on how we fund the show?
Yeah, he was talking about our political show.
Here's an update on Bubba the Love Sponge. The most unique political coverage last week may have come from our old pal Bubba the Love Sponge.
Really?
He live streamed the debate and talked loudly over it to thank listeners in his chat for making donations. I don't know what's going on there.
What are they donating to?
I don't know, but this is the best broadcast. Listen to this.
We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC. And
Holy, that's a G-ball for tonight.
Trump are just moments away from taking
James
the stage
Donahue, who is that? That's 843 Bubba, isn't it?
And I'm
Yes,
Lindsay
it is.
Davis.
$100. And Mario Gonzalez, 25. Oh, he's going to have a heyday with this.
He's going to love that.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Election day, now less than 2 months away.
Here we go.
You said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights.
All things Tibby,
in your home
$20.
state of Florida, you surprised many
Thank you, all things
with
Tibby.
regard to your 6-week abortion ban. Around our country.
You know what they should both say?
Sunny days, $200.
Oh, my God, $200 sunny days.
Frankly,
I don't know what's going on.
Howard, who makes $100 million a year, can't wrap his head around that we have to have a telethon for a show. Here you go. Hold on.
Hang on there, but hey, look at this, $200. I don't know, but I love it. You know that.
So anyway, Lummy, that's our Howard discussion.
Every time I hear Howard's show, it's just him asking, "What's going on? What is this? I've never heard of this."
Well, I mean,
he's an old man now.
But hold on, within the radio industry, what we do is very not. I don't know that's being done at the level we're doing it. You know how we're on terrestrial, but we're on other digital platforms, paying the bill through the digital platforms while giving shout outs to people in certain threshold lummies to get yourself either Hall of Fame and or royalty status to come to our end of the year party and get a big ass Super Bowl ring and like it's like there's nobody else even coming close in regular radio, terrestrial radio, or even I don't even know anybody that's even doing a daily show with that type of parameters. I don't think so. I mean, Seth, you know the radio landscape and who's doing what. I don't know that anybody's doing this. at the level we are.
No, I don't think so. I think it just shows that Howard's out of touch with how people are making their money these days in radio and streaming.
That or he's blown away that you can do it that way.
Can I tell you, I'm blown away that he honestly does 12 hours of radio a week, and it's something that we did that we would do. Like somebody thought it was interesting enough to bring up on his show.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Honestly.
I mean, here's the thing. Howard, his shtick, and Howard and I are friends, but his shtick is everybody sucks but me. I invented everything. Everybody's a bunch of biters. Right? That's been his shtick all along. And we're the only ones, really, us and a couple others. There's a dude, Kid Chris. He likes Kid Chris. He likes us. And this one guy who used to work in L.A., I forget what his name is, but he was just like a regular jock.
Booker?
Booker, yes. Booker's his buddy, too. But he talks about us more than all of those people combined, and I think he's enamored by us a little bit. And
it does sound crazy, though, when he plays it back, Bubba. I mean, it just sounds insane.
It does.
Well, when you creatively edit it to just train horns and cash donations.
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. To be, a lot of people in radio talk not good of us. Whether we have a good reputation or bad, it doesn't really matter at this point. But when you got arguably, whether you think he's getting old, whether you think that he's too liberal, whether you think that, he's whatever you think of Howard, you cannot take the fact away that he's the greatest of all time for talk radio. Like, there's not even a close second. And when that guy's still thinking that you're funny and you're good and you're relevant and he's replaying your bits on the air, kind of poking fun at you, but more importantly, kind of giving you the rub still, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, kind of still giving you the rub.
He reluctantly did the Smartless podcast. I don't know if you're familiar with Smartless, but
No.
Sirius XM acquired the Smartless media brand, which is Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean.
It was out in the Hamptons, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did a live one there. It's awful. They botched it. It's not awful because of Howard. It's awful
Sirius
because
XM has botched it. They have gotten rid of people like me and people that can actually garner subscriptions and move the needles, and they've given, $100 million podcast deals to Call Her Daddy and to Conan O'Brien and to Kevin Hart, and they're going back to the celebrity mentality rather than to realize that the art of radio and spoken word is way different than podcasting. It really is. And it's way different. Radio people, you're still doing radio. Sirius XM is still considered radio. And they're getting away from that. And he's the only one, really. He's really the only person out. I think Sam and Jim Norton and Sam still have a show, I think.
Well, Sirius made a gigantic mistake, and they just did a 10-to-1 reverse split on the stock market to try and get more institutional money because their stock forever has been between $3 and $6 a share. That's kind of been the pocket for their stock. So they've become so corporate. They did a 10-for-1 reverse split.
And hold on. And their parent company, Liberty, I think it's Liberty, rolled them into like the Liberty fold, so they're no longer a single entity.
Well, it's SiriusXM Holdings is the name of the company, and they're down 42% over the last 6 months.
And it's the first 2 quarters that they've lost subscriptions. The last 2 quarters, quarter 1 and quarter 2, they lost subscriptions, and that's the first time that has ever happened. And the reason why that's happening is they don't have any personality besides Howard that makes the trucker in Iowa or the guy that's, working his ass off at a car mechanic's place in Indiana or, the blue collar people that, really Howard's career was built upon. They're all gone. They're all gone, and and they're not coming back until they bring somebody like me or somebody else. What's that, Rhett?
Well, I think Sirius is getting away from the personalities also because they're putting a lot of stock into on-demand content. They have been partnering with a lot of different podcast companies, and they now host podcasts on their app. That's part of the functionality of what Sirius brings to the table and all of that. So Yeah, just like you said, they're definitely losing subscribers. And I mean, if you're a subscriber now and you're paying more than $10 a month for Sirius, call them on the phone, tell them you can't afford it, and I guarantee you will leave with a better deal and still have Sirius because they don't want to lose you.
I had a friend, Rhett, oddly that you say this. I had a friend, and he was getting automatically dinged like once a year for like $99.99, whatever kind of deal.
Probably more than that. He was probably getting hit for $200
whatever
a year.
he was getting dinged, and he's like, I'm over it. But I got it for Bubba, and I've just kept it around for the NFL. Sometimes I can hear an NFL game or Major League Baseball or something like that, but I'm out. I'm not paying this. He called him up and said, I want to cancel my subscription. It's really, really tough to do. They really make you stay on hold.
Yeah, they beg and plead.
Well, don't call. Go through chat from now on. It's much easier.
Well, anyway, he got a person to do it. And the woman was like, sir, if I have authorization from my supervisor to offer you from a $200 deal to a $99 deal a year. And he's like, no, so listen to this. At the end of the day, he got it whittled down to $4.99 a month, like $50 a year. He got it whittled down. He's like, at that point, man, I can still get baseball. I can still, listen to Howard occasionally. I can still get some. It's probably worth $50 a year.
It's a good value at $8 a month. I mean, when you think about what other programming you play, especially if you're going on like a long car trip. I mean, getting to listen to Howard and the best of and Howard 101.
But they'll make when you're trying to cancel, it's literally like Monty Clark's Let's Make a Deal. They try to hold. I mean, you can get them down to nothing.
Yeah.
And so, I have stayed in continual touch with, several of my friends, even management at SiriusXM. I'll even tell you, even Jeremy Coleman, who's the head of the Howard channels, I've been in touch with regards to, man, listen, you guys need us.
Their business model right now is we hope that people are too rich or too lazy to cancel their subscription. Well, that's literally what their business model is.
This is one of the 10 subscriptions you forget about this year.
Right. And here's the deal. The other thing is they're getting away from radio personalities, and they're going all in on podcasting. They just gave the Call Her Daddy chick over $100 million. And listen, podcasting's really, really good for about 100 people. I mean, really, podcasting is really, really good. But it's such a misnomer as to what podcasting really pays.
Well, it's not just even that. There's a drastic difference between getting a once a week podcast and getting a daily 4-hour show.
Right.
Like the content and the value of a once a week podcast. Nobody is going to subscribe to Sirius because Call Me Daddy or whatever is on there for an hour a day or an hour a week or whatever it is. I don't even know.
The Conan O'Brien podcast library.
Booty is $20.
They're right. The people the men, the truckers, the salesmen that have SiriusXM in their cars, they want a daily show that pop culturally is getting them up to speed on what they need to know about and has an opinion with guests and things like that. Kind of like what we do. Definitely what Howard does. But when Howard leaves next year, his deal ends December 31st, 2025. His deal's done. And he's not coming back.
Howard's working 3 days a week, 8 months out of the year now.
There's no way he's coming back. And if he comes back, it's going to be they're going to replay. I think they bought 3 years of his best of tapes that they can play. But there's nobody, and I've talked till I'm blue in the face to these people. There's nobody that has been anointed by him, that has been given his blessing, that could retain his current listeners and maybe get back some of the good old boys that he's ran off, except me. There's no other person that was hand-selected to do a drive time show on his network for 5 years, except me. And so I am literally, me and my guys, when I say me, I mean us. So please don't think that it's us. We are their only solution. But they don't see it that way. They're like, no, we got a different philosophy. We're shifting gears after Howard. We don't know if we want that. Man, whether it's me or it's Sam and Jim, or you need something like that, a male skewing morning show. You have to have that. Now, whether it's me or the next guy, You got to have that.
You don't think Marvel Entertainment podcast is doing it for him?
No, I don't think Marvel Entertainment podcast is going to do it for him.
You know, the problem that they have is these niche interest things. Like nobody wants to spend $10, $20 a month on a niche hobby that they and the stupidest thing with the Smartless podcast is you can still get it for free on Amazon. Like I don't listen to Smartless through the SiriusXM app. I listen to it through Amazon Music for free, and I can fast forward through the commercials. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So I don't get it.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I've talked Lummy to 6 different, one of which is like 3rd or 4th in charge, and he's like, every time I bring your name up, they're like, no, that's not the answer, man. You guys have no idea what you're doing. Literally no idea. When you're losing 250 or 300,000 subscribers a quarter, something's not working. Prior to that, they never had a negative subscriber growth. They never had that up until the last 2. And it's, Howard's wrapping it up, and they don't have anything to replace them. I mean,
are they going to just go cheap?
I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to try to make it kind of more of a podcast deal.
They don't know what they're going to do. That's the problem. The company does not have vision. It's a scam company right now. I wouldn't invest in it. Their entire business model is let's get people to sign up for subscriptions and hope they forget to cancel.
And they try to drive people to their app. They're really pushing their app.
And I will say, I do enjoy using the SiriusXM app. I like there is a very wide variety of channels that they'll program for you. You don't have to program your own. I know Spotify is another option. Spotify's just too much work for me.
Well,
having
Spotify,
to pick out playlists and songs and things like that.
Spotify couldn't sustain the big time pay. They couldn't. They had to let Rogan go with regards to his exclusivity. They couldn't continue to pay the freight on that.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you can't pay the freight, the big time freight, what was it? $30 million a year, $20 million a year for Joe?
Yeah, I think it was 20.
So, and they paid that kind of money because Joe's podcast, daily podcast or whatever, was exclusive to Spotify.
They also, while paying for his podcast, laid off over 2,000 employees.
Right. So
same like ESPN did when they brought in McAfee.
When Rogan's deal was up, they're like, "Hey, we'd like to continue to carry it, probably but we can't have the exclusive." And Joe's going to go do other things, YouTube, and he's gonna go across multi-platforms like he used to. And I still think that Spotify is probably still paying a pretty penny to have his podcast. They're just not going to have the exclusivity. So if Spotify can't make Joe Rogan work, what does that show you about the podcast template? Like we couldn't survive just on our podcast. Thanks
a lot, Seth.
No,
I'm teasing.
He's right.
We just start. Nobody can.
I'm down 9,000 listens this month.
Oof.
Criminal defense attorney David Gelman.
You know what? As much as you're down $9,000 on listens because you're in charge of podcasting, you're still, no matter how you score it, doing better than P. Diddy. A guy that got the key to New York last year, the key to the city, a guy by some people's claims is worth $1 billion, and he's sitting in jail right now, probably hoping not to be somebody's bitch.
I don't know. I heard he likes that.
Oh man, did you hear Suge Knight's advice to him?
Yes, I got that.
Oh, that was chilling.
I'm gonna play that next. Suge Knight had some advice for P. Diddy,
like way before he got arrested.
Yeah, like this was a year ago.
Oh, man.
And, well, I mean, Cat Williams called it. I guess it's been floating around Hollywood for quite a while.
Dude, for being a billionaire, for being a mogul, for being, a pioneer and all this stuff, I don't hear anybody in the music industry, saying anything about it and saying anything about him, positive or negative. I feel like everybody's scared.
I think there's a lot of them involved in it. And by saying involved, not meaning they just participated in some of these freak shows.
Yes,
freak shows.
Well, that was it. The Breakfast Club guy said that
Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, he came out and he's like, everyone's scared because if you were known to go to one of his parties, you're scared. You're going to jail.
Really?
That's what he said.
Because
you
might have been with an underage chick.
Yep.
You might have been.
No, they don't have him on any underage stuff. That's not anywhere in the indictment.
Oh, so if you were just a dude and you were just blasting a chick that P. Diddy provided.
Or a dude that P. Diddy provided.
Okay, so what's illegal about that?
Nothing.
Okay, then. So, I mean, if you participated, which means you were just blasting, maybe doing some ketamine, what are they going to get you on?
Yeah, there's no underage allegations at this point in the...
about drugging women and raping them without their...
Well, that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at one of the freak shows or freaks off, and some guy gives you a girl and she's obviously drugged and not coherent and doesn't want to have sex with you because she doesn't even know where she's at. Yeah, I could see where you could probably be in trouble.
What did he do to people that wanted a record deal? Like, what did he do to fans? Like, what did he?
Did he have a little bit of Weinstein in him? Whereas, like, if you want to make it, you're gonna have to run, be part of the. You're gonna maybe have to participate in a few of these freak offs if you want a record deal.
You want a deal? You better bend over and show me how much you want this deal.
Yeah, that's how it probably went.
Take this deal.
Isn't that a little bit of what Cat Williams was alluding to when he did that? Yeah.
And he wanted Cat Williams so bad that Cat Williams turned down $40 million.
It's weird because people are bringing Jay-Z into it. They're saying Jay-Z met Rihanna when she was underage. They're saying Jay-Z met Beyonce when she was underage. So there was a rapper, I think the Lil Baby came out, or DaBaby, whatever, came out and said that they were at a party at Diddy's house and like 15 people stayed after he kicked everybody out. And Jay-Z and Beyonce were a couple of those people. So I'm not saying that they did anything, but I think there's just a lot of heavy hitters that are involved in this.
I do too. That's why they're taking their time with this deal. They've talked to over 50, and they say they have that many, if not more, to talk to yet. It's going to be interesting how this. I mean, Brian, does he just plead? Does he plead out?
No.
Or does he start? What does he start? Does he start talking?
He's
to get a better deal.
He's a narcissist and clearly not right in the head. He's not going to do what is best for him and best for everybody else in the legal process. He's going to fight until the bitter end.
He's gonna take people down with him.
He's going to force a trial on this.
He's going to get killed.
He wants it to turn into whatever that Young Thug trial has turned into in Atlanta.
Oh, so was it Slim Thug or was it Young Thug?
No, it's Young Thug, man. Okay. Get your thug straight.
So I gotta go to words. I'll come back with the Suge Knight deal. Hold on.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com
right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show will be back after this.
But what's the most amount of lube you've ever had in your house at once?
I don't know, Brian.
I like coconut oil. Woo! I don't like lube, it's sticky.
You're using the cheap stuff, man. Lube technology has come a long way.
Oh, has it?
Oh, yeah.
So hot in here.
I use Amelie.
Synthetic?
Synthetic?
It's the best, man.
So hot, Lummy.
Hot?
So hot in here.
It is warmer in here today than usual.
I just turned it down.
Oh, man.
I'm about to turn up the heat. I think you're adding the lube and the baby oil together. I don't think it was 1,000 bottles of each. I think combined they had 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Yeah, I know. He's doing it wrong, the fat pig. You get that bulk discount by buying it by the barrel.
The barrel. Buying it by the barrel?
That's the way I get my lube. Crude KY is trading for $50 a barrel on the market right now. I know it's watermelon you're eating, but on my computer screen it looks like mini hot dogs. It's kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah.
It's watermelon.
I know. Good morning, John Costega. How you doing, my brother?
Come on, boy.
He's the best.
Where's he at?
I love him. He's in Rumble.
Mixing it up with the Rumbleians.
They're mean at Rumble. I don't go over there.
They are a little bit edgier on Rumble. I think that's the nature of the platform. But we love the Rumble people too.
I don't go over there. They scare me. I'm a YouTube.
Good morning, Grouperlets. It's good that they have their own little communities, though. Because imagine all the trouble you would have with listeners if they were all in one place. This one hates that one. This one, you know, starting fights in the group chat there. This way people can be separated and have options. There's 3 people left on Twitch, I heard. Good morning, Tile Guru. The bad weather's almost pushed through. Gray skies are going to clear up.
No way, can't move. Two Russian TVs.
Off his perks, man. He's back on.
I wonder if he I bet he
I turned the air down, can you tell?
Yeah, God,
Yeah, you did. Let's get some thumbins, guys. Thumbins on Rumble and YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on now. Those are some bullshit numbers I'm seeing.
Right.
Some real bullshit.
What's bullshit?
Our thumbins.
Oh.
I'm showing 9 on YouTube right now.
If we get 1,000, will you vote for Kamala?
9.
Did you refresh?
I don't know.
You're on there.
Now it's not refreshing. My computers can't handle refresh. You get on a page and you let the page ride.
There's
I've got a Commodore that I'm hooked up to.
We give Dan that one.
Dan, the slow computer.
There's 250.
Well, have you seen the way he types?
Yeah. There's 250.
His index fingers do a little tap dance across the keyboard. Search and peck.
I agree, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
That went out of business.
Yeah, you know who's be right behind him? Fucking Hawk 2 bitch. I hate that bitch.
She just got her new podcast, Bubba.
Yeah, I got the fucking story.
She's on her second episode. Her first.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
Lummy, what are you looking for email-wise? I know you got like 35 or 40 different show-related emails. The latest one is, I think, the BARP information.
Yes.
With regards to your ring size and your name. Reach out to us at, I think it's BAR Party or info.
Yes.
BAR Party info at gmail.com.
And if you don't get your ring, it's I didn't get my ring, no apostrophe, at BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Correct.
And if you have a question for the show, it's I have a question for, and then put the person either Bubba, Lummy, Rhett, Macho at BubbaArmyHQ.com.
And if you haven't sent your picture in for your bust, which we have been getting a good amount of the pictures in, it's bust, BUST, at BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Here is my picture for my bust, forward-facing and sideways-facing at BubbaArmyHQ.com.
We've got to get those pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, I think we almost got all of them in. I just want to put it out there.
Here's the P. Diddy. Here's the network version of P. Diddy.
To help break down.
So yesterday, P. Diddy had. So Brian, the only thing that he was what they did yesterday was his lawyers are trying to establish some type of bail, and he's being held with no bail.
Yes.
And there's a lot of good reasons why they're holding him with no bail because one, he's very wealthy. Two, I think he could be a flight risk.
Well, he's already he's already influenced the investigation by contacting people and having surrogates contact people on his behalf.
Right.
So they're afraid of witness intimidation and tampering and things of that nature.
I don't think there is with the evidence they got, the charges they have, how high profile this is, how wealthy he is. His sources and means being able, private jet, whatever, in conjunction with he's already made contact with a certain amount of witnesses that there's not a chance in hell. I think they even offered $50 million yesterday. Did they not? I think they offered $50 million
to get bailed out or to get bond. Yeah,
to get to bond out. So Brian, would $50 million be a full $50 million? You're not going to get a bondsman to put up $50 million.
Probably not. Yeah,
that's your. So is that 10% of $50 million, or is that $50 million?
No. The 10% is what you give to the bondsman. The bondsman then just posts the rest of the bail. So the bondsman's running at that. That's the bondsman's juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's putting up the money. That's just the juice you're paying him to put the money up.
Yep.
All right. So if there would be a $50 million bail, that would have to be a $50 million check that Diddy wrote.
Most likely.
Because nobody's going to put it up for him.
Yep.
And in order to do that, man, you're going to probably have to put up a few houses for collateral or, something, right?
He may have liquidity. I don't know what
you
Diddy's
think he's liquid for $50 mil?
He may be liquid.
And the legal complexities.
So yesterday was just strictly a hearing to see if his lawyers could smooth talk the judge into letting him out on bail until the trial. Now, have they established when the trial is going to be?
No,
I don't believe
think so. They're way early in the process.
So at that point, Brian, if he was to get bail, they would probably have some type of GPS monitoring, ankle bracelet kind of deal, the forfeiture of his passport. You can only stay in one house, just a lot of limitations. But I don't think, no matter what brilliant legal case law or strategy that his lawyers use, that there is a chance in hell that you're going to be the judge that allows this guy to have bail to run rampant and to do his stuff. I don't think there's a chance he'll ever get bail. Do you?
I don't think so. They're going to appeal it, but I don't think that they'll win. It's because the biggest reason is because the state, or the prosecutor in this case, because it's federal, right? But they were able to present evidence that he had tampered with and tried to interfere with the federal investigation while it was ongoing. And that's a killer for him, because that then supports the reasoning why you would not allow him bail. Because if he was going to do it during the investigation,
that's probably, outside of flight risk, the number one reason why they keep your ass in jail, so that you can't make contact with the people that they're trying to talk to.
And they can monitor the contact that you do have, because they're recording your calls and all of that. So you call up,
you're locked in a cage.
You call up Slim Thug to go and pay a visit to Justin Bieber and try and set him straight, they're going to know that.
Of this case, David.
So it was denied yesterday. Now, if they appealed the denial, does that mean it goes to an appellate court, and all that they're ruling on is, did the judge make a mistake in his determination for no bail? It's not like you get a whole nother chance at it. You're just basically trying to see if the judge tripped up in his ruling, right?
Yeah, I imagine it would be only for abuse of discretion, because bail is at the discretion of the judge. It's a discretionary decision, so they would have to say abuse of discretion, which is a pretty high standard.
Right. I mean, especially with something this high profile, this volatile, this scandalous. It's just easier to, so when they say that they're going to, he was denied yesterday and they're going to appeal it, but it's really not an appealable thing. because the judge didn't make any glaring mistakes. That's where people have the biggest misconception, is that an appeal is just because you didn't get the outcome that you wanted. No, that's not what it is. Brian, am I right? An appeal is you're appealing that there was a mistake made in the judicial process.
Yeah, there is
right?
something. There is something. Not only that, but it has to be material. And
Right.
and so yeah, a lot of times you're like, oh yeah, but they're gonna appeals are tough. They're not.
They're not always granted.
They're not. I mean, they're very limited. Granted, yeah.
Trickney said he lost the appeal.
Yeah. Oh, so they've already appealed it?
That's what she said it a couple of times.
I thought yesterday it was denied.
Yeah, I
and
thought
then
yesterday was denied. And they still have to appeal.
And they still have to appeal.
I don't know. I'm going
According
with
to
Trickney.
you,
I believe her.
When that indictment was unsealed yesterday and you started going through the meat of it along with the rest of us, what were your initial thoughts?
Wow. I mean, this is pretty intense. That's all I can say. I've seen a lot of different things as a prosecutor and a defense attorney, Marky. And
it
gotta
was
tell you,
denied.
So
he made a second judge refused it. Yep.
So you're done.
Citing the possibility that he will tamper with witnesses. I mean,
Right.
that was his mistake.
So this is a non-issue. Bail is not on the table.
Right. Nope.
That is not an option. You are not getting out.
Do you think he went in or whenever he went to jail? Do you think he went in thinking that he might never get outside again?
Well, here's the thing, Seth. A lot of people don't know this, because I've been kind of really paying attention to this. I watched a lot of the proceedings yesterday, live, like on court and law, and crime and law, and things like that. Is that a lot of people don't know is that he was actually scheduled to turn himself in the day before they picked him up
on Tuesday.
He was he was in a hotel room close to where he's scheduled to turn himself in the next morning, and they went and got him the night before in the hotel room. A lot of people don't know that.
They thought he was a flight risk.
And so, I mean, Brian, that's even more salacious is the fact that you're in a hotel room because you've cut a deal with the government to go turn yourself in the next morning, okay? So you're in a hotel room close to where you're turning yourself in at, and rather than for the government to wait till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning like you've promised, they come and snatch you up in the hotel room.
They must have had reason to believe that he wasn't going to turn himself in pursuant to the agreement or try to change something, because otherwise I don't know why they would do that.
And let me fact check me on that, okay?
No, you're right. I'm looking at it right now.
Could you read it? You're the
It
best
says, did
reader.
he wanted to surrender, but prosecutor said no, says attorney.
Oh,
Then
so there was no deal to surrender.
Oh,
though.
I thought that there was, because they snatched him a day earlier than he was supposedly scheduled to turn himself in. So,
did he? He's going to have some issues here. You know, this is very extensive, and it goes back to 2000.
I mean, it's kind of like R. Kelly. Once they threw R. Kelly in jail, he never got out. Ever.
8, you know, and there's a criminal enterprise here. And so what I really was focusing on is that there's
these are the federal charges against Sean P. Diddy Combs. Sex trafficking, minimum of 15 years. Racketeering conspiracy, maximum life. Prostitution transportation, maximum 10 years. So
nobody else.
Bubba, on the surrender part, this is what the.
Am I right or wrong?
You're kind of right, but so why they didn't let him surrender is because then they couldn't tell the judge that he was a flight risk and it was in danger of being a flight risk. So they wanted.
So they took
to
that
go
off
get
the
him.
table, because if
Correct.
he willfully goes and turns himself in, then that's a little point for him
That makes sense.
for doing that. So if they yoke him prior to turning him in, then he can't say I turned myself in. They're like, we yoked him, so it takes that off the table.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Mentioned in this, it was only P. Diddy.
Yep.
So I really have a feeling that this is a tip of the iceberg, if you will, because there's co-conspirators.
And think about this, man. You're living. I mean, we've all seen his lifestyle. We've seen the jets and the mansions.
We've seen it for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's been right in front of us.
Right. We've seen this guy be arguably, one of the top 5 major music moguls in our life.
We've watched every step he's taken.
Right.
Every breath?
Every move he's made.
When you have a racketeering charge and when you have co-conspirators not mentioned, either they're cooperating or they just haven't been named yet and they haven't been charged. So I think we just started this whole thing. I think there's going to be a lot more that goes around. And
you know, Brian, that for the most part, when you're under the French fry lights of the feds, people start either 1, cooperating, or 2, singing like a canary.
Well, that's the same thing.
Well, yeah.
Not cooperating.
He's probably going to be his own.
I doubt that they got anybody in there, but I think most of the co-conspirators are going to be like everybody who worked for him, and like, didn't he have like what was equivalent to his Giselle Bunch? Like Giselle Maxwell. Didn't he have something? Didn't he have a girl?
He had assistants and everything, and they're all going to get hemmed up, and they will all roll on him.
And they were like,
what about Farnsworth Bentley?
They would go in and rent the hotels and then set each room up with baby oil and lube and drugs and food and everything. And then they would have a whole extra pair of sheets and blankets and things like that, because I guess these parties, there was just lube and just everybody going crazy. So after the parties, he had a crew, we have the Get Fresh crew that builds stuff around here. He had the Freshen Up crew that, changed the linens because it had, body liquids and baby oil and things like that. So
isn't it funny that all the G rappers are like moguls and free, and all like the wannabe hanger-oners like P. Diddy and R. Kelly and all them are in prison? That's kind of funny.
Or his own angel, if you will, because he's going to have to either give up people and give information, or.
And so here's the question. I don't think P. Diddy can necessarily give up anybody that's a bigger fish. See, Brian, I think, isn't it, when you give somebody up, it's got to be a bigger fish than you.
Yeah, they don't care if he's going to throw his assistant under the bus.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be in order to get the government to want to maybe start making a deal with you, it's got to be, you're a drug dealer and you got caught with 5 pounds.
And it's got to be a fish that they actually want to catch, because we know the feds are dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And if they, oh, no, he's one of our boys, we're not going after him.
But my analogy on drugs, you get a guy over and he's got 5 pounds of cocaine on him. Okay, that's great. You're going to go to jail for a long, long time unless you can give us the guy that's got 100 pounds of it, right?
Yep.
That you bought your 5. Then we're all ears, because we'd rather get that guy and a lot of times let these guys go. It's a matter of how you roll. But I can't off the top of my head think of who P. Diddy could give up that would be a bigger whale than him.
I think he's the biggest guy, because I think when they raided his house and they took a long time, and everybody's like, oh, Diddy must be fine, they're not charging him with anything. And then they put this together. I think that they wanted to make sure that he was the guy. He was at the top of this, whether it was for perverse, whether it was for power, whatever it was. This was all at his house. So
that's why it took so long, Seth, after the seas, because they had so many people to get a hold of to build him as the whale.
Yeah, you're going to get some record reps and some of those people that you might not know their names, but have a bunch of money and are in that music industry that get caught up. But again, I don't know how we're going to find out who's in the tapes, but I think that he's definitely the guy that they wanted to go after, the only one.
Yeah.
He's going to go at it alone, and the feds are going to have a plethora of information to go after it.
A field day. You brought up one of my.
Now, Brian, this ends up being a big trial, does it not? I mean, is this like an R. Kelly deal?
This would be a huge trial. The bummer part, it's in federal in New York, so we're not going to get any video.
We'll get artist renderings.
Yeah, that's the bummer.
Today.
Tweets and artist renderings.
Who was helping him this whole time? Will they be facing charges as well? How is the defense's argument going to play that these were consenting adults? They came here. They kept coming back. I mean, at what point does it go from consent crossing over into coercion?
Well, look,
yeah, I mean, let's say, Brian, he was paying these hookers to do all this stuff. Now, does that take the bite out of this?
The male hookers.
Well, it's the problem, I think, for him is it's probably people in the industry that he was holding. It's kind of a Weinstein deal. Where, Weinstein can say, oh, they were all consenting. I didn't rape any of them. Well, when you hold their career, when you coerce them into it and you use leverage against them, that is no longer consent.
Do you think they get a big, like an artist like, Justin Bieber?
Bieber's the one everybody's talking about.
And it says, hey, listen, at 15, he anally raped me or something like that. But then again, that goes to there is no underage allegations within the indictment. So
that just lets me know that somebody like Bieber hasn't cooperated yet to the point of...
Based on the information they only got so far.
I probably feel like Diddy didn't take Bieber. I feel like Diddy probably hooked Bieber up and had him lose his virginity or something like that. Like I have a feeling like Diddy is that kind of guy that would be, putting.
Now, is that illegal though to get an underage person laid?
Didn't he clap Meek Mill's cheeks? Isn't that the whole?
There's a thing about Meek Mill. There's a thing about Usher. There's a lot. Yeah.
Did he got him laid?
No,
he banged him.
That Diddy
banged him?
did it.
Yeah.
Diddy.
I sent you like a little clip that's going around that shows P. Diddy like almost like kind of frisking Bieber for a wire.
Yeah. He like grabs his back and then like touches his chest in 3 different spots on the front.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, this looks like a little like you're being a little handsy. I like this way more.
Handsy.
This is Suge Knight. And by the way, he's in jail for 28 years for killing somebody. And he made this statement. What, about a year ago?
I believe so.
He said he hopes that P. Diddy gets to pee sitting down.
No, standing up.
Oh, standing up. Yeah. So in prison, if you pee standing up, that means you're kind of a man, and if you pee sitting down, that means you kind of take it.
From what Suge's saying, that's what I'm gathering. I don't particularly know this one.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of prison. I was only when I was in jail, I was only there for like 4 or 5, like maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, the context clues lead me to believe what you were saying.
Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in? So. You know they're going to get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look.
This is a collect call with Suge Knight. So it's somebody that's, taking a phone call from Suge Knight. Probably that's a friend or somebody.
This is clearly like common knowledge throughout the industry. It's crazy that he was free this long. Do you think it was like just part of don't snitch culture? Do you feel like he has stuff on everybody?
I will say this. If Diddy was more in the white culture, it wouldn't have been as tight-lipped. I think that the black culture, they protect each other and they keep their mouths shut.
I mean, I let Hogan bang my wife and look at the trouble I got into.
I mean, it's like instant.
Jesus.
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree, Seth? It seems like a cultural thing.
Wouldn't you agree that my situation seems like
Stop making this about you.
Wouldn't you agree that my situation is a nothing burger compared to this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you're not going to be peeing sitting down by in prison. So.
True. Hip hop and for our community, our people. I turn myself in. Sometimes you got to face the music. That's most of the time. Puffy, I'm going to give you some real advice. 2 quick things. You got to make a decision. When you go to prison, either you're going to be standing up pissing or squatting, sitting down pissing. I advise you to try to take the first one. Because, if you're squatting, pissing on the seat, you know what that means. Oh, yeah, by the way, do not.
By the way, putting
creepy as hell, man.
Putting music behind it ruined it.
Oh, I like it.
Well, I mean,
I want royalty-free music behind all my phone calls now.
Do your time.
It's a Tupac
going by Brother Love.
Hail Mary.
Brother Love is not a good code name for prison. I'm out.
So I guess his nickname is Brother Love.
Yeah.
And he's saying that's not a good look for prison.
Yes.
Brother Love.
Giving him advice years before he went to jail, man.
Here is an exchange when Justin Bieber was 15. I think that at this point, him and P. Diddy had maybe hung out a little bit. But
yeah, they were having sleepovers.
And then Justin Bieber kind of went on and started doing his own thing and hadn't been in contact with P. Diddy for a while, and Diddy was upset about it, asked him.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah. Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything?
Tampa's favorite unemployed running back, Leonard Fournette, was at a lot of those Diddy parties,
He sure
too.
was.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. There's a lot of video coming out of everyone standing around, and he's right there.
Do you think that's why he's out of the league?
Yeah.
Maybe you could be president.
That
Do you
guy
ever think
sucks.
about anything like
This is P. Diddy on Jimmy Kimmel.
that?
No.
Really, never?
No.
Why?
I wouldn't make a good president.
You don't think you'd be good?
I wouldn't really pass any of the things that you have to pass to, but I guess Trump did it.
Yeah, no.
No.
You would be a Boy Scout by comparison.
Yeah. Nah, I like doing what I'm doing.
You like doing it, yeah. There's no fun in that, is there?
I don't know if I could be responsible for the whole country.
You know what? I think that at this point, almost anybody would be doing a better job.
What about you?
Yeah, and I wouldn't do a better job, but I think I would. You know what? I would, if you agreed to run for president, I would be happy to be your running mate. Let's put it that way. All right?
Damn, Jimmy. Throw it out there.
I sent you him around with Fournette and Jay-Z, and he was like cheersing. And
this is the Fournette deal.
Yeah, there's Fournette back there.
I think, by the way,
and it's different than.
I think Diddy is an alcoholic.
Okay, well, that's like the least.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just think
he wishes that's his only problem.
I mean, I'm just saying. It feels like was always drinking. If you look at him,
I heard he bites his fingernails too.
2020, y'all. Yeah.
And look at there's Jay-Z. Does Jay-Z get looped up in this? Because that would be the bigger whale.
Just because you're at a party with somebody.
I'm not saying that he did. I'm asking you it in question form. Do you think there's a possibility that Jay-Z might be a co-conspirator? That's Brian, a question, not a statement. And then, would you not agree that would be a bigger whale?
Than much bigger, yeah.
P. Diddy could roll on Jay-Z. That would interest the feds into cutting a deal. Get you both, right? That would destroy music. I mean, as far as this genre, Jay-Z's the biggest of any of that, is he not? He's the biggest of all time, isn't he?
The thing with Jay-Z that he did well was to ingratiate himself with the big, like, real power brokers. He's involved in,
NFL
as an agent in these. Yeah, he is
to the next level.
Yeah, he's
really
next level entrepreneur.
2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. The game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch.
We had a light billionaire's lunch.
Black.
Oh, was it black?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Complete opposite, but yeah.
Let me when we come back before John Morgan, we got to cover the everything in Palestine now, man. Cell phones, walkie-talkies, mopeds. The Israelis
in Lebanon.
This in Lebanon?
I believe so.
The Israelis, man, they really put the explosive juice in a lot of different things, and they got everybody freaked out. And I think 3 or 4 things blew up yesterday. Did they not?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
AOC is not happy.
Checking my phone constantly.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Symbology and everything. I mean, there's so many symbols in the Illuminati. All of them. Everybody. Seth, do you have any intel on what's going to blow up next? that the Israelis have planted explosives in?
I don't know. They said they're 2 steps ahead.
I know. They clearly fucking are. This is like, I feel bad for anybody innocent that got hurt in it, but they've really targeted the people they were going after.
I got inside intel that T.D. Dukes, that really big African American pastor from, I think, Dallas, is one of the people.
That did he stuff? Somebody named T.D. Dukes?
Yeah.
Who?
T.D. Dukes. He's fucking one of the biggest mega pastors in fucking the world.
Texas.
T.D. Jakes.
T.D. Jakes, yeah.
Okay.
There's no way Diddy's fucking anybody on camera, though.
What do you mean?
You heard the sound of that his bodyguard filmed of him clapping Meek Mill's cheeks.
He filmed it, or he was there? He was outside.
He was outside. It's audio.
That clip?
It's audio.
No, I
He
do.
likes watching up and he was jerking off.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I don't think that he filmed. I don't think Diddy would record himself.
Diddy has a new song drop now. I can make them cheeks clap.
Jesus.
I can make them cheeks clap.
Fits in the tantrums.
It's Diddy and Mace coming back with it.
Dude, Mace did not want any part of that stuff. That's what
Didn't he become a reverend?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out of this
Mace
game.
left a long time ago, man.
Absolve me from the sins which I have committed and watched and maybe participated in.
He might have. And then the game said that that P. Diddy was trying to have Drake killed.
That'd be an international incident. Canadians love their Drake.
Dark Red said the bodyguard said, I heard someone struggling to take dick.
Well, I mean, I would take Dark Match's word on what that sounds like.
Well, that's what the bodyguard said, but that was oh man.
I'm just saying.
Sunshine.
This is just a lot.
8:39 at 9. All right, buddy. We sent you a link. You got it, right? I'm sure you got it. All right, buddy. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. Thank you, John. Bye.
Has anybody looked into why he changed his name to P. Diddy from Puff Daddy? Are we thinking that was sexual or code or something? Like, I want a heavy-hitting investigative journalism.
I mean, you'd probably have to really sit down and get inside his head of, it seems like he, had like a God complex or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe he was like short for penis daddy or something like that.
Except would you go to Mace's church if you were a Christian?
I like Mace, yeah. I'd go to, I am Christian.
Is Little Kim there? Whatever happened to Little Kim?
She became Big Kim.
Oh, is she fat?
She'd be looking like an auntie now.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, shit. What do you expect? She's like 50. It's you can't be a
Little Kim 2024.
Can't be a sex symbol.
Holy
for
cow.
life.
What?
She's a little bit bigger than I expected.
Oh.
Lil' Kim?
She became Big Kim.
Oh, you're Brian. Listen, you're a dick. I didn't really believe you.
I'm White Brian today. Yeah, well, they all can't be winners, She needs to see Dr. Dan.
Man, Aubrey O'Day was right this whole.
Yes, my voice turns Brian on. He's Brian the babyface Matroni, such a hottie. Now how about you help pay my session fee? PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. The BTLS show now returns.
Morgan on his landline to wake him up.
Oh, nice.
He instructed me to call him at 8:45, but I was going to be on the air, so I called him a few minutes early. He goes, "What time is it?" I go, 8:38. He goes, "What time you need me?" I go, 9. I'll be there.
He's living a lifestyle with no alarms. I
Yeah.
love that for him.
Yeah, that's what we're going to open up with,
Yeah.
man. How cool is it to just wake up when you wake up?
When you need me, just dial pound alarm.
So, I mean, how cool is it? I used to be like that when I was doing afternoon Lummy, because I could just literally, you're going to wake up by 3.
Whenever.
So I never had an alarm, really. I just woke up when I woke up. That makes you pimp right there.
Sure does.
It really does. I was actually gonna bump in with the new Dark Match Steve. No, I'm sorry. This is the John from Naples retirement song. But not really retire. Soft retirement.
It's like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, he'll come back 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So I really do like this. This is really good. The production value is great. So. A couple times here and there. I'm going to play the Craig and Rio thing probably a couple more times too. Those things are timeless. Love them. Can't wait for those guys to hear it. Here is I don't know if this is a walkie-talkie or a radio or a Sony Walkman.
I think walkie-talkies were the ones that went yesterday.
Yeah. And so in order for this to happen,
I heard Israel set up like a shell company that Hezbollah ended up buying all of these devices from.
Yeah, it was like BCG based out of Hungary, and they
BCG Communications, where we can sell you a walkie-talkie or a beeper or whatever the hell you need.
At a fair price, yeah.
At a very fair price.
And they set up. I mean, they did a good job setting up the company. They had like a CEO that had a bio, and then they had a mailing address to Hungary, which is just like a shell corporation mailing address.
And so they would get all these devices and iggy them up with the go-go juice, and then be able to explode them. And now Hezbollah is got to be, or Hamas or whoever.
Yeah, Hezbollah.
They got to be just freaked out that
everything around them is going to blow up and kill them.
Anything that they touch They don't even know if they can go to the fridge. If anything that they touch could literally blow them up and kill them.
Oh, they said, I don't know if it was the defense minister or somebody from Israel said yesterday that we want you to be scared when you go to the bathroom because we're 2 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they got the toilet seats.
I mean, but I mean, it's pretty ingenious counterterrorism, is it not? It's brilliant.
Well, look at Bubba. Hezbollah paid them to get blown up. I mean, Hezbollah gave them money for all that stuff.
They paid for the beepers.
You're getting paid for us to kill you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, we bought blowed up beepers.
Say it, Bubba.
Blowed up cell phones.
Say it, Guido.
If you look right down in here, this is in Lebanon. If you look right down in here, somebody's walkie-talkie blows up. You'll see it right now.
Everybody leaves them too.
What's that?
Everybody leaves them. Like,
yeah, like man, I hope him, And Israel isn't denying it.
No, they said they
no.
did.
It's pretty obvious that they're taking responsibility.
Right. Israel's like, yep. Here's I don't know what this guy had on him, whether he had a beeper or a cell phone or a walkie-talkie, but it burnt him and his and the moped to the ground.
Can you believe these guys didn't ditch their electronics after what happened the first day?
No.
Jeez.
And again, I don't think these are gunshots. I think these are various devices that are blowing up. Man, that guy must have had 4 pagers.
It was a Cybertruck.
In order to get that type of deal. What is this? Oh, this is our ex, right?
Yeah, that's just
this is
South
a guy,
African.
Yeah, this guy's now. Did they set him on fire?
Sure did.
What did this guy do to warrant this?
I don't like seeing videos like this.
Yeah, this is not a nice video.
It's not nice.
Okay,
the town didn't really like him. And
what now? Who didn't like him?
The town.
Was he a kid toucher or something like that? And they set him on fire, and the guy can't get himself out of fire.
Yeah,
and then they threw a couple rocks on his head, and
it's much easier watching people get blown up by their cell phones.
Especially when they're terrorists, you know what they did.
What about the innocent people around, Brian?
No, that part upsets me a little bit, but I don't want to see the innocent people's crotches blow up.
AOC, she's at the forefront of this, and she is mad at Israel. And AOC said, she tweeted yesterday, Israel pager attack in Lebanon detonated thousands of handheld devices across a slew of public spaces, seriously injuring and killing innocent civilians. This attack clearly and unequivocally violates the international humanitarian law and undermines U.S. efforts to prevent a wider conflict. What does she know? It's this pussy-ass attitude that's going to keep this thing going longer than it needs to go. Let us blow up more pagers and walkie-talkies. Eventually, they'll stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the way. Everybody says that Israel has the right to defend themselves,
They do.
but apparently,
And I think this is a very calculated way to do it.
It's targeted enough for me that I'm fine with it.
I'm fine. I'm like, listen, we're not throwing a Scud missile in downtown, in the West Bank. We are precisely blowing up people, bad people that are trying to communicate amongst themselves to do bad things to us. And they bought them from a shell company from us. And so we can absolutely pinpoint if somebody has one of these devices that we've iggied up, they are up to no good. They are communicating with fellow no good people to do bad things to us. This is, to me, brilliant.
For sure. Absolutely.
I want the congressman or senator to say, hi, this is Congressman such and such. And you know what? This is pretty effing brilliant.
Actually, there's a good amount that have been. She's one of the few.
Congress needs to do a full accounting of the attack, including an answer from the State Department as to whether the U.S. assistance went into the development or deployment of this technology.
Why is she so popular for being a congresswoman?
I don't.
Because she's hot.
Because she's hot,
That's why.
and she's got this little niche of Bronx carved out that seemed to like her. And
but has she done anything? Like,
no.
has she done anything for her
She
people?
had the new green plan.
Yeah, she stopped 50,000 jobs going into her district from Amazon.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Here's a little clip
which he started following us too. So
he did.
Yeah. So I started I started putting his stuff over, and then
this guy
he
here,
got done so dirty.
This guy got done
so dirty.
This guy got done so dirty, and we're talking about John Gruden, and I don't even know why they would do him that dirty.
Because somebody had to fall from that investigation, and he was the easy fall guy. He got done dirty.
Absolutely.
Dan Snyder's a scumbag POS, and they ended up, even though he was going to be out of the league, they ended up doing Gruden dirty.
So this is a clip of Gruden.
It's like his little show.
Yeah, right. And he breaks down. He's breaking down he's breaking down various teams and various things. And just to know that this mind could be in the NFL is so wasteful and such a crime that this guy who is so knowledgeable and still has a lot of gas in his tank and was scheduled to be a 10% owner of the Raiders and did so dirty. But
and it's great. He's
so brilliant.
It's great stuff, too. I mean, hats off to his crew, his people that he has, his editing guys, his camera guys. The work that they're doing from his house, it's simple, but
I think it's
effective.
out of Tampa, isn't it?
There's not a lot of fluff in his delivery. Like, I've been watching this channel since he started it a couple of weeks ago, and it really is great stuff.
The New York Jets offense.
This is about Aaron Rodgers.
This is about Aaron Rodgers, and he thinks Merch Crick has Aaron Rodgers as her starter, and I told her
great pick, though, and
I told her
solid.
Shut up.
I'm trying to be positive.
Listen to me. He's gonna come around.
But who's the backup kicker?
Hold on. Even John Gruden says, be patient with Rodgers. He's going to come on.
That's right.
He's going to come on.
The New York Jets offense, this is the group I have been waiting to see. I think a lot of people have been waiting to see this offensive group because of the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He's back, and he's had a couple games under his belt now. Plus, they have the return of Mike Williams, the big receiver from the Chargers, their offseason acquisition.
He sucks.
And this offensive line is going to continue to get better. Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses at tackle. This is a crowd we can't wait to see. But the reality is, Aaron Rodgers is worth the ticket. And last week against the Titans, he proved it once again. He has got the 3 phases of quickness I think you have to be a great quarterback. Mental quickness, body quickness, and he's got the quickest trigger, arguably, in football. And I know the Mahomes fans are going to be yelling at me, but I can see why. He's quick. His fundamentals are unorthodox. Rodgers was the first guy I've ever seen get back in the shotgun as a right-handed quarterback with his right foot back. I used to ask Mike McCarthy, what the hell are you guys doing? And then I'd ask other quarterbacks, why do you have your right foot back? And they'd say, well, Aaron Rodgers does it. I said, no, you keep your left foot back if you're right-handed. There's a big battle between us quarterbacks. But this guy, Rodgers, has the quickness. He has his own fundamentals that are exclusive to him that people have copied over the years. It's the continuous movement that he plays the position with that I love the most. I remember Bill Walsh teaching Joe Montana that in the old days with the 49ers. He's like a boxer in the pocket. His feet are always moving. He can throw jabs. He can throw roundhouses. But he's always moving. He's electrifying in the pocket. I love it.
So anyway, this is, Gruden.
That's cool. Do you think you think that'll help get him back in the league, or?
I hope, but I think that the NFL is so corporate and full of the good old boy network, and he was in such a great spot, and he really didn't do anything wrong.
He was at a Chiefs practice last week. He was working with the Saints over the offseason. Like, he's been back on NFL property and working with some teams.
No, that's one thing. They don't want him out front.
Right.
They don't want him out front. He should be on. Why is he not doing Fox's pregame show?
Because
why is he not doing CBS's pregame coverage? Why is he not on ESPN?
Well, that's another thing that this YouTube channel is going to help him do. It's going to help him get his name back out on the forefront, show that he has that analyst ability. And it may not be a big company like CBS or Fox that takes a swing on him, but I don't know. Does he go back to coaching in college?
No.
Yeah, I think that could be an option.
Maybe.
I think I don't know. I don't know Gruden, but I think he's dying to be around football.
I think he needs to get with a stylist or somebody looking on his look on those videos because I think he could look a little better.
He looks like Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders.
I'm not going to say anything that besmirches Gruden's good name. I'm just saying that that's one aspect of it.
He's going to Latin Sons.
Try to get him on the air, Lemmy.
Yeah,
Tell
I'm
him
going to reach out to him.
Probably through Dan.
Yes.
Because Dan's good friends with him.
He is.
I got to go to Words so that I'm right on time. Mach, can you get the Zoom link going?
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll do John. We'll have the John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan. Pound Law. That's all. Live next. Hold on.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Well, I'm December time, that's more holiday time.
I said yesterday.
But I'm bummed. I think we have a chance.
I said they do pretty good this year.
Wait, did you say chance to beat Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't think Florida's going to take another chance on a G5 coach. I think they're going to go. I know, but this is a very good point that somebody made with Tennessee.
What up, Tina? Good morning.
You can tell the quality of a coordinator by the fall off when they leave the program. There should be a fall off. With Tennessee, there was no offensive fall off. No, I get it. What I'm saying is when you have when your coordinator is worth their salt, right? The team has a fall off when they leave.
What did you do, Gary? Loner and Stoner out today. Shit, I'm running now.
There it is.
Obviously, was the offensive coordinator too.
Right.
But that goes down him. You know who else? You know who they're going to want.
Where's that? We'll see.
Coming from here, Bubba?
4 minutes.
Well,
you got Q on or something?
Yeah, I got a Q on. Let me see where's that coming from, though.
Yeah, nobody's going to want him. It's just a runner.
Yeah, but coach,
Yeah, we'll see.
I gotta find this. Where this is coming
What up, Bloomin' Onion? What up, Johnny?
All right, there it is. All right, now I gotta get John back. Oh, I just messed up.
Oh yeah, it's down at the bottom somewhere.
Go ahead, find me. There we go. There we go. Okay, perfect. John looks tired. Woke him up.
Yeah, and then listening to shit.
A little bit, Tina. Thank you.
Seth, do you think this is going to be Caleb's breakout game?
Who they playing?
Or do you think with DJ Moore being hurt that it's not going to happen yet?
Keenan Allen?
Or Keenan Allen, sorry.
They play the Colts. I think that he'll
Bubba,
do something worthy of a highlight.
Can you talk on the mic and test it just to make sure that he's not muted?
Hey, John, can you hear me? Okay, good. Well, hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh yeah, I can hear you. We're 2 minutes away, bud.
All right.
You look. I'm sorry for waking you up.
I was dozing.
You're dozing?
Isn't that what they say when you're?
You probably go back to sleep till about 3, like you did yesterday.
My dad used to say I was resting my eyes.
All right, I'll see you in minute 45. Minute 45.
All right.
I'd go into like the TV room. My dad'd be like, and he was like, "Dad, you're asleep. Go to bed." No, I was just resting my eyes. Just resting my eyes.
Right.
Tired eyes of watching you.
My eyes.
Look at that, Seth. That's Coffee Cities.
What? What happened? Tampa.
Tampa.
Come on.
Tampa.
Orlando.
Is that because of Kawa? We're number 6.
Kawas are mostly in St. Pete.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. It didn't say St. Pete.
I mean, if it's Tampa Bay, I guess I could understand.
Yeah, maybe it is. I think our region gets a lot of regional love.
Yeah,
Plus Orlando, too. The fucking city of Orlando is nowhere near the attractions.
Right, the attraction are what, Kissimmee?
Yeah, that's like the Kissimmee, Lake Buena Vista area, Davenport, Kissimmee, Lake Buena Vista. It's not actual incorporated city of Orlando.
How dare you speak ill of Davenport? Where we're going to be spending our time.
I got to follow up with him. Oh, look at this one. She's got something to say.
Hey, Bubba wants to ditch the food gimmick.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
I've got to call them. They never followed up with me, so I'm starting to get worried.
Just everybody's on their own.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Here we go. 10 seconds.
The Orlando Content House, Shindig, it's going to be a bunch of dudes doing stuff dudes do. Happening November 15th and 16th. If you want to come see this freak show, email us, orlando@BubbaArmyHQ.com. Let the crew know if you want to be registered for Friday Night Fight Night. Orlando@BubbaArmyHQ.com. The BTLS show now returns.
Speaking of Orlando, although he's the king of everywhere, he started out being... well, probably the king of Kentucky, and then that transferred down to when did your parents... By the way, John Morgan, For the People, Size Matters, good friend of mine, known John for, 15 years or so. And I told John yesterday when I was talking to him, John, I knew you when you were only worth $50 million.
Well,
Now, when did you grew up in Kentucky, John, but when did your parents move to Orlando?
All right. Well, it was a long time ago. I was 14 years old. So that was like 54 years ago. I was devastated. I was very happy in Kentucky. But as they say in Ireland, my dad drank a wee too much. And my mother drank right there with him. And we were just kind of trying to find survival. So we came to Florida, which turned out to be very good for me because I got a good school system, but it was traumatic at the time.
I mean, the only one that was partying, probably the only one initially that liked it was Tim, because he was out, lifeguarding and being the man all about town. And so, the younger you, 13, 14, you can't appreciate what Tim's going through. But it's probably like Tim's coming from backward ass Kentucky, thrown right into the hot spot, right?
Well, when we go home, we get to be with our cousins. And we get to see what life could have been like if we had stayed there for the rest of our lives. And we love them to death, but it's a different lifestyle up there.
By the way,
it's like hillbilly elegy.
By the way, mentioning Tim, R.I.P. I didn't get a chance as I was talking to you yesterday to give my condolences to your brother, who was just absolutely kind of your driving force. I've seen many lectures where you're like, listen, one of the reasons why I got into personal injury was my brother, Tim, older brother, was a lifeguard for Disney or a resort or something and had a catastrophic injury where it paralyzed him. And you guys had horrible reps, like your lawyers were horrible, just horrible. Tim didn't get near the justice or near the care, or just botched it completely. And you're like, from that point forward, you got into this space for your brother. Rest in peace. We just lost him not too long ago. But what a hell of a fighter, and what a cool. I met Tim one time, man, and Tim was like a guy in a wheelchair that didn't know he was in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying?
Tim made all of us feel comfortable by not being uncomfortable.
Right.
The last thing Tim said to me on his deathbed was, I laughed so you all wouldn't cry.
Oh, man. That's
deep.
Tough. That's deep. That's deep. And I know that hurt you, but what a hell of a dude. What a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you're on your current, I call it the John Morgan Tour, and I think you're on the third leg of your world tour right now. Usually your first leg starts in Hawaii, then your second leg is in New Hampshire, and then you close out the year in Orlando/New Smyrna, and then it all starts again January 1 back in Maui.
That's exactly, I call it my wheel.
Yeah.
I'm in search of perfect weather. Like I'm in Ponce Inlet today, and the weather is absolutely perfect. And that is my goal every day, to wake up in perfect weather.
Now, will you even call the shop today and ask how many new ones we got, or do you get a report every day? We got 3 big new ones and 10 decent ones. What level?
Did Diddy call?
Or did Diddy call and needs a good lawyer?
Well, Diddy, I met Diddy years ago. I was partners with Johnny Cochran. And one of our first meetings, I went to Cochran's office in New York City. Sitting in the lobby was Diddy and J-Lo. And it was at the time where he had been arrested for pulling the gun out.
Right.
And we all went back to Johnny's office, and we had the meeting. And when it was over, Johnny said, "What do you think?" I said, "Listen, right now, America thinks you're undefeated. And you don't need to be doing any more criminal cases. Let's retire undefeated and let's move on into personal injury." And that's what he did. We got Ben Brofman involved, who represented Diddy, got him off. And for the rest of America, when they thought of Johnny Cochran, they thought this is a lawyer who can do the impossible. He got O.J. Simpson off. I mean, like Chris Rock used to say, people say, if you hire Johnny Cochran, you're guilty. And Chris Rock used to say, "I'd rather be guilty and free than not guilty and in prison." And that's kind of what Johnny Cochran was.
With regards to the dream team, OJ's dream team, who was obviously Cochran was kind of the superstar face, and he had the most famous quote, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. But who was because obviously you're a lawyer, who was the workhorse on that team that may have been the unheralded hero that really did a lot better than people give credit for?
Well, F. Lee Bailey was very, very good.
Florida, West Palm Beach guy, right?
More Massachusetts. He used to. He told me once. He said he was on Johnny Cochran or Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson said, "I'm just going to call you F because your friends call you F." But he was a workhorse. But really, the guy who did it was two-pronged. One, Marcia Clark and
Darden.
They were having a little Bubba the Love Sponge action.
They were having Coca-Cola bottle problems.
Yeah, they were having the Love Sponge routine during the most important trial of the century.
Did they blow it? Did they absolutely, like, as a lawyer, did they blow it?
They blew it. They blew it. First of all, you in Lawyerville, you can never let something happen that you don't know the answer to. They teach you the first day in law school. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to. He didn't know if that glove fit. He didn't ever practice that glove. That was a knockout punch. I know you like UFC. That was a knockout punch by Johnny Cochran. That was just coming across, bang, and OJ struggling to put it on, the acting to put it on.
And we even heard that Cochran went to the jail and had OJ not take his blood pressure medicine for 3 or 4 days so that he would be naturally a little bloated. That's what there's even rumors that said that Johnny got that deep into the deal to make sure that OJ's hand was a little bloated. He skipped some of his medication.
Well, when Johnny died, I don't think Johnny really never. I would ask him, what do you think happened? One night we were in Miami, a boxing thing, and afterwards we're back at the Intercontinental Hotel. OJ had come up to us. We were there with a group, Barry Bonds, Gary Sheffield, and Johnny. And we watch this box. OJ comes up, and he's absolutely out of his mind. He is introduced to Barry Bonds. He starts telling Barry Bonds he's going to come out of retirement and beat Barry Bonds' record. He's mixing football and bat. When we get back to the Intercontinental, we're drinking sangria, and Johnny and one guy, Jock Smith, goes, "Boy, OJ was effed up today," and Johnny said, "That brother was so effed up for a minute. I thought he was going to say, 'Uncle Johnny, I really didn't do it.'" Right. And the whole room was like, "Holy cow, what did we just hear?"
Right. What did you just hear? Did you heard like a reverse gimmick there? Like
we heard because we never asked him. And he's like, and then at the funeral, Al Sharpton had everybody that's ever been represented by Johnny Cochran, please. I was a pallbearer. Everybody that's been represented by Johnny Cochran, please stand up. You turned around. Diddy standing up. Michael Jackson standing up. Geronimo Pratt is standing up. You know, Bubba the Love Sponge, he's in the back. He did some shit years ago. They're all standing up. And O.J. Simpson stands up, and Al Sharpton says, "With all due respect to you, Brother Simpson, when you were acquitted, we weren't cheering you. We were cheering Johnny Cochran." And it was like a chill.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a wow.
I didn't know that you were a pallbearer in Johnny Cochran's deal. That's
oh
awesome.
Yeah,
that's all.
I was front row in L.A.
So your thoughts?
Stevie Wonder's up there. Stevie Wonder's playing the piano. You know, I mean, it was everybody was there. It was.
How often do you guys are in L.A. now? I mean, you guys are in everywhere. Do you go to L.A. to the L.A. office very often?
My son Demo Swag, as you love to call him, Demo Swag loves L.A. and his best buddy in life, Evan Rosenberg, we sent him out to run L.A. So I let the young guys handle L.A.
L.A. How about Matt? Is Matt kind of second? Is he kind of John Light? You know, Matt.
I'm convinced that the day I died, Matt's going to come to my house and take all my shoes and cufflinks. He's ready.
He's ready. I mean, he's already doing your workload. I mean, he's kind of the face, and he, you know, the 4 or 5 times I've been to your office and the 3 or 4 times I've been to lunch, man, Matt has just got the smooth it factor. He really does.
It's like one time I had a guy that worked for me, Jim Robinson, and my dad met him, and he goes, I said, "What'd you think about him, Daddy?" He goes, "There's not enough O's in smooth to describe Jim Robinson." So there's not enough O's in smooth to describe Matt Morgan.
So we're rolling up on Amendment 3 and 4 here in Florida. And I know that you are, you know, have very, very, very strong views on both. And I actually I have the same opinion as you do. I'm voting yes on both of them. But we were going to kind of talk to you about those two. And, you know, might as well start with 3. And I think 3 is the weed one and 4 is the abortion one, right?
Right. Well, 3, you know, that was Tim's issue. I did it for Tim. Tim relied heavily on marijuana to relieve his pain, and especially his breakthrough pain. And that's why I did the constitutional amendment to legalize medical marijuana.
In fact, I think you are kind of the founding father of Florida with regards to the money you put behind it and the infrastructure that you built. You are the reason we got medical marijuana was solely on you, pretty much.
That is true.
Right.
And
so Seth, you need to be liking this guy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for truly, Mr. Morgan.
Well, think about this. I mean, you know, when you think about it, I mean, I spent, you know, tens of millions of dollars because I had to do it twice. But, you know, when I think about it, in Florida right now, 1 million people have a card. I mean, like 1 out of 20 people I have helped with their deal. What I'm working on now with a fellow named Howard Kessler is a possibility, if we get it downgraded to a Schedule 3, to have it where insurance can cover marijuana.
Oh,
that day is coming.
That's coming.
That day will one day be here, and because the people who fight the hardest against this are the pharmaceutical industries and the booze industry.
They want you
it's competition.
They want you hopped up on Vicodins, not some sativa, right?
Yeah, exactly. They want you, you know, or just blind running Bubba drunk on tequila.
Right.
And I mean, they don't care how you get your freak on as long as it's with their product.
With their product. And God forbid somebody come in with a better product that makes you feel better and, puts a damper on their party. And because, boy, and probably out of all the people you've dealt with, probably Big Pharma are the shadiest bitches of all. Are they not? Or is Big Tobacco even shadier?
They're all shady because what they do is they make money knowing that they're going to kill us.
Right.
They know. I sue the tobacco industry all the time. You know what they call new smokers? Replacement smokers. You know those filters where you see the brown, where you think you're pulling out tar and nicotine? There's no tar and nicotine. They lace the cotton with a chemical. When it gets warm, it turns brown. So you think that you're blocking the tar and nicotine. These are evil MFers. And the pharmaceutical industry, they lie with tests. I mean, they are wanting to make money, and they don't care how they do it. So for me, I know I got a winning argument on Amendment 3 because they're like, the only argument that I've heard Ron DeSantis have against it smells bad.
Oh.
Somebody said, what do you think about this? It smells bad. I said, let me tell you something. When I smell it, I want to go into wherever that party is. I do not want to be. If I smell weed in this room, I want to go in that room
and see what's going on.
See what's going on.
Right. Because there's cool music. There's cool people. There's cool people over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I want to go in and smell the skunk.
But he also, and I think you said, I saw an interview where he's trying to play on people's emotions by saying, well, it doesn't have a grow at home provision. And you've already said, listen, we'll get that next time.
Hey, listen, if Governor Ron wants to grow at home, it can be done legislatively this coming year. He doesn't want grow at home. I want grow at home. We should have grow at home. We can grow weeds at home, so we should be able to grow weed at home and smoke it at home. And I agree with him. Take the monopolies out of it. I let Joe Blow have his little marijuana farm right next to his tomatoes.
Right. I mean, I think you can grow tobacco with no problem, can't you?
Let Joe Blow become Joe Grow.
Yeah, instead of Joe Blow, Joe Grow.
There you go, Joe Grow.
Yeah. So,
but he's bullshit. I mean, he's BSing everybody when he says that because he doesn't want that. If he does, guess what?
He can do it with a stroke of a pen.
He can do it. Well, the House and the Senate would have to do it with him, but he can do it.
John, the other thing he attacked, and I want you to have a chance to
by the way,
rebut it.
This is Brian Matroni, and he's a personal injury lawyer here in town, and he comes to and is on my show every Thursday. He's a pain in my ass, a real smarmy son of a bitch, but he's smart and everybody loves him. But Brian, go ahead.
I'm a big fan and amazed by what you've been able to build. But the other thing he said was about the liability blanket liability protection for the weed manufacturers. What do you say about that? First of all, I support it, by the way. I'm not sitting here as like a counter talker.
They don't have any liability. They have immunity from prosecution from growing it and selling it, but they don't. If they do something, if they put an unsafe product in commerce, they have the same problem that Honda and Ford and the pharmaceuticals have. It's a complete lie.
It's a distraction,
right? And that's kind of the point. Is he's out there doing what he's done his entire political career, which is to lie, fearmonger, and do what he needs to do to get his way. I support you 100% in the fight. Really wish you'd run for governor.
Yeah, hold on. We can put an end to all of this nonsense if you just get off your ass and run for governor. My Lord.
Well,
and listen, I've been with you a couple times, and we've had this discussion, and you've told me they have begged you to run for governor. Have they not?
A lot of people have because, I got a good name. I'm in every market in Florida, so everybody knows me. They know I've passed these two. I've raised the minimum wage to $15.
Yep.
And we passed this. But the problem, Bubba, is, then I got to go to meetings.
And you have to have
the highway patrol budget for the next year. I'm like, can you imagine sitting in that meeting?
Well, not only that, but now you're on the third leg of your John Morgan tour, and one of the good things with the John Morgan tour is there is no alarm clock. You just wake up when you wake up. So if you're the governor, you might actually have to wake up at 7:15
and stay in Florida year round.
And stay in Florida. You can't be out there in Maui.
Now in Hawaii, I've got a rooster. I got a farm in Hawaii. I got a little fruit farm in Hawaii, and I've got a rooster named Tommy. And the good thing about Tommy is he keeps the chickens happy, but the bad thing about Tommy is he wakes me up early. Now, when Tommy wakes me up in Maui, I'm 6 hours behind. So, Tommy's waking me up at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Right. Noon.
I like getting up at noon.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so you couldn't be the governor because, it'd be like all meetings would be like at 11, 12, 1. They got to get things done by then.
Yeah, we'd be zooming from.
But you would win. You know you would win. Absolutely. Like almost if Grady Judd ran. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've already told Grady Judd this. He's one of my best buddies in Florida.
He's one of my best friends too. I actually do some ride-alongs with him. And before I interrupt you, that we have another common friend that people would never know that you two are friends, but you are. And I hope I'm not misspeaking here. But I'm really good friends with Roger Stone, and I know you're friends with Roger.
Roger Stone has been very helpful to me in this entire marijuana climb. And he's a crazy guy.
Oh, he is.
But he is a very, very smart dude.
Yeah. So you think he could be talking to Trump about, you think Trump would listen to Roger, or is Trump just won't listen to anybody?
Listen, Trump pardoned Roger because Trump listens to Roger.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. You think, a lot of people didn't get pardoned. Roger got pardoned.
So back to your Grady Judd story before I
So Grady Judd, I've already told Grady Judd, I said, look, Grady, if I run for governor, I'm gonna run as an independent because I think the party system's broken. The fringes are just too much. Most of us agree on most things when you take the D and the R down. But I told Grady, if I run, you're my lieutenant governor. And he said, I'm with you, man. So tell Grady, we're going to have, you talk about a dream team. Me and Grady Judd, law and order.
He is.
That's awesome.
And you don't see any of this nonsense that's happening all around other cities happening in Polk County. There's bad guys that'll drive around Polk County an extra 150 miles just not to go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Grady's like, remember that movie? Who was that? Sheriff Buford T. Pusser or something like that?
Buford T. Justice on Dukes at Hazard. Remember?
Yeah, Buford T. Justice. But hey, by the way, Grady's no fool. Grady has a PhD from Rollins. This is his craft. This is his profession. He's not just a guy that was a mall cop and then became the sheriff. This guy is. You and him
have a lot in common in that you're both good at what you do, but you're both very good communicators. Half of Grady's greatness is when he gets in on the podium up there and he's got the picture of the dude and he has, he breaks the dude down and it just, you are the same way.
Well, listen, I debated sheriffs all over Florida for medical marijuana, and it's always hard because when somebody's got a gun, you just are a little bit more careful about what you say. But all the sheriffs had they had no chance with me. But the one who gave me trouble was Grady Judd.
But I remember after you guys debated, you went to some honky tonk like cowboy bar or something and bought drinks for everybody in Lakeland, if I remember right.
I went to Boots and Buckles, and everybody was messed up, and I did a bunch of and got up there, but I invited Grady down to Boots and Buckles.
I heard you got to Boots and Buckles and really let loose, really got after it.
Well, I wasn't drunk enough to get after it yet. I really got after it on my bus ride home. Right. That's when the real party started.
So you made news, John, when they did the big switcheroo with Biden and Kamala, and I know that there was actually, I think you were on Fox and all kinds of things, and you are one of the big time Democratic swinging D's in Florida. You're one of the greatest one of the greatest things I've ever done. I've interviewed a ton of people. I've done some great things. I've done some bad things. But one of my highlights of my life is I'm having lunch with you one day, and you're like, when we get back to my office, we'll call up President Clinton and see what he thinks about this thing. Remember that thing we were working on? And we're in your office and talking to President Clinton, and I was just like, wow.
No, we were actually at that taco place having tacos across the street.
Well, yeah, you called him first there, and then he said, he's like, oh, hey, call me back, John, in like 15 minutes. So then
I told him, I said, I'm gonna have 2 Bubba's meat. Yeah, I said, Bubba meet Bubba.
Yeah, and so it's so
he got
surreal.
a big kick out of you. He looked you up later and figured out what Bubba he was talking to.
Oh yeah, I can remember his favorite line. I don't even think I can really talk about what we talked about that day. But so you were not necessarily, and I still don't think you're necessarily sold on Kamala, and I think you let it be known when they made the switcheroo.
Well, look, I was Joe Biden. I'm a Joe Biden type of Democrat. When the Democrats started putting the word socialist at the end, I'm Bernie Sanders. I'm a Democrat socialist. I'm like, I'm not. I'm a Democrat capitalist. And so I've kind of been moving away more to the center, or being pushed more to the center. So I'm a Joe Biden type Democrat. I've known him forever. When they pushed him out, and he was pushed out, I was in favor of having like a convention to figure out who's best. But in retrospect, when you look at what they've done, they've kind of done some jiu-jitsu on the Republican Party, because
Jiu-jitsu, I love it. Joe, did you come up with that?
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
They're getting ready to, she doesn't have to be in a primary. She's only had a few votes. And so this is really frustrating the Republicans, because it's hard to lay a glove on somebody who you don't have an issue to talk about. So it's turned out to be a masterstroke. I'm not against her. I'm not for. I'm like, with both of them, I'm like, everybody's saying we're going to have to, this election, we are all going to have to hold our noses and vote. That's how I feel. Not who do I like the most, but who do I hate the least?
That's what happens when we have a 2-party system. Can you ever see, John, having a third party, or is it just never? It's just a good old boys, and it's just never going to happen.
I don't think it's. But look, here's what we know: there's Democrats, there's the progressive socialists, and then there's the liberal Democrats. That's 2 parties. And then there's the rhinos. That's the country club guys walking around with sticks up their asses with a shrimp boil at the country club. And then there's the MAGA crowd, and they're the guys with the shirts off and the boats and the flags and playing Lee Greenwood 24/7. Those are the 4 parties. There's not 2 parties. There's 4 parties: MAGA, Rhino, Joe Biden, Democrat, Progressive, Socialist. So yeah, I could see a day, because when we have things like marijuana on the ballot, it passes with over 60%, 70% of the vote.
Abortion the same way.
Abortion the same way. Most of us agree on most things, but you put a D or an R next to it, it's impossible. It's like this. Okay, it's like trying to get Florida State fan to put on a Gator jersey and go to a game. That it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And so those teams are already locked in. And then what happens is the power at the top, they don't represent the people, they represent the special, and nothing is ever going to happen. Ron DeSantis is beholden to the insurance industry, the booze industry, the pharmaceutical industry. So nothing's ever going to happen for the people at the bottom.
So
unless we have a constitutional amendment, and then the people get the power. And that's why Amendment 3 is going to pass, because when you give the people the power, they take it and they use it.
And so what they don't realize is there's going to be people from Florida that vote for Donald Trump, but vote yes on 3 and 4. So what does that tell you? That's telling you, okay, I'm Republican, in some way, but I think democratically when it comes to weed and abortion, and there's a lot, in order for both of those to pass, one, Trump's probably going to win the state, and then two, both of those are going to pass. So what does that show you? That shows you that most people take the D and the R away, think alike.
Exactly. That's why I would run I would love to test that. I don't know if it's possible, but that's why I would love for somebody credible to test that as an independent, because we all, everything, felons' rights, remember that one.
Charlie, didn't Charlie Crist put that one in? Your boy Charlie?
Well, that's a constitutional amendment.
Oh, constitutional
amendment.
Right.
Everything that we want has to happen through the constitutional amendment. I challenge any of your listeners to tell you one thing that the Florida legislature has done that benefits them. But when you go to constitutional amendments, marijuana, minimum wage, fair elections, felons' rights, we're all like, yeah, hey, he went to jail. He paid his price. He paid his dues. Let him vote. But then they come out and he's got to pay a fine. And they still got that gummed up because they represent the very, very top of the food chain and not the rest of us.
So John, you being a big slinging D in Florida, have you ever met Trump before?
I have. Yeah. I've met Trump at Mar-a-Lago once.
Really?
And look, he's a charming guy. He's bigger than you think. He's a big guy. He's a charming guy. The day I was with him, he made a donation to $100,000 to this friend's charity, Adam Donner, who's dead now. I was at the club, and Rush Limbaugh was there. They were all, I was with the.
You were really with the Brat Pack there, weren't you?
Yeah, the only person I was missing was you and Stern.
Yeah, but hold on. Speaking of which, I met Donald. I was invited to Howard's wedding, and I was sitting one table across. I was with Sam Simon, the co-inventor of the Simpsons, and somebody and Artie and me and Brent, and the table across from us was Leon Black, the guy who runs Black's. That guy might have a little more money than you, maybe. I don't know.
Apollo. That guy's got some Diddy problems, though. He had to resign from Apollo.
That's right. Apollo Global, which owns Cox Communications. Leon had to get the hell out because he had some Diddy issues, did he not?
Epstein.
Yeah, okay. So I was the table across from me was Leon, Don Buchwald, Donald Trump, and Kelly Ripka and her husband, and Barbara Walters. The table across, and here my dumb hillbilly asses are hanging out with these people.
Well, Trump is he's not. Here's why I look at Trump. He might be a genius, but he's also crazy. That's the bottom line. That's my bottom line on tape. This guy keeps saying things that you think, all right, he's dead, but he just keeps. Now he's going to go to Springfield, Ohio. He's going to go up there and start
see if they're really eating cats.
Yeah, one thing about him, you cannot back him down. You cannot. There is nothing you can do to shame him. It's impossible, but he can sure as hell shame you. When he marched in with all those women to Hillary's debate, and I was there, it was like, holy cow! He has no limits. When he fights, he's putting on brass knuckles. He's got nunchucks. He's got tasers in his pocket.
And you know what? You and I, with the thing that I had. And we met with Bill about. We had something that could have caused some real big issues, didn't we, buddy?
We had it. Trump owes you, Bubba.
Well, yeah, you cut the deal. You get one hell of a deal through a big swinging D. And Brian Panish, was that the guy from California?
Yep, Brian Panish. But the guy that you bought it, the guy you sold it to,
is in prison.
He's in prison.
I know. I was wanting to see if I could, he loves himself. I wonder. I was going to see if I could ever maybe do an interview with that guy and buy it back, for $5 Gs or something like that. Buy it back.
He may give it back to you if you give him $25 for the canteen at the jail.
I'd be like, hey, John Morgan gave me, $1,000
Hey,
for your
you
canteen.
need some milk. You need some milk dud money.
So, listen, we got a topic that Brian was going to bring up that I know that it won't upset you, but I know that it makes you full hot. And Brian, what was that about the UF deal?
Well, I mean, either the head coaching situation or the president, Ben Sass, and the absolute shakedown robbery criminal activity that he and his crew pulled on the university.
Yeah, Brian's like, man, let's ask John about that one. He'll go full crazy on that.
Well, look, if the University of Florida was a stock, would you ever buy one share? I mean, it's mismanagement at its grossest level. Football, academics, they bring in DeSantis's buddy to be president of the university. He brings in his buddies. They're having food. They're having sushi. They're having shrimp. Each shrimp was like costing $30 a shrimp. And he just was there for 18 months and just, raped the university. Now he's leaving, but he's going to be paid $1 million a year to do shit until 2028.
So they're paying him a golden parachute to go away because you're so crappy. And I think what was his sushi bill one time? $38,000.
$38,000. And, he's one of these sanctimonious guys from Nebraska. I mean, he brought it, but I'll tell you what he did. He brought a corn cob. He brought a corn cob from Nebraska, and he took the corn off and stuck it up the University of Florida's rear end with that corn cob.
Is Billy Napier? When do they get rid of Bill? When do they
Well,
get?
now Billy Napier, he's another problem. And, I'm not mad at Billy Napier because look, it was like bringing in the high school coach from Lake Mary Prep to become the Florida Gator coach. But if you give a guy, if somebody says to you, hey, I'm gonna give you a contract and I'm gonna guarantee $26 million, you take it.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about football, but if they offer it to me, I'm coaching. I'm gonna take it. So I'm not mad at Billy Napier. Dan Mullen was fired. They had to buy him out. Now they're gonna have to buy Billy Napier out. And the truth of the matter is, it's over. They fired Dan Mullen. He finished in the top 10 3 out of his last 4 years. He coached Tebow to a national championship. He developed Dak Prescott. He'll be back next year. They fired a winner to hire this guy who looks. When I first saw Billy Napier, I thought it was the guy from Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton. I like, we taking the French fries and dipping them in the mustard. But I'm like, who is this guy? I don't blame Billy Napier, but they're going to have to pay him $26 million to go away. I hear the money's put together. The great thing about these boosters, all these guys never played sports, even in high school. I mean, these boosters are the kids who struck out in kickball in elementary school. So they have no athletic ability, but now they're sitting up going, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, you don't know what you're doing because you never should have fired Dan Mullen in the first place. You should. Now, what I would do with Billy Napier, I'd never fire him. I'd just say, hey,
we're gonna let you run. We're gonna let you run your crappy contract right on out, and we'll be fine.
Come to work. Because here's the thing about recruiting. Recruiting doesn't matter anymore.
No, it's the NIL.
It's NIL and portal. All that shit about Mullen couldn't recruit. Every college has an NIL director now.
Yep. Would the Gators consider Deion? After Deion, does this thing in Colorado and his son's gone, or you think Deion's not the answer?
Well, first of all, back to my thing. He's from FSU. They'd be like, oh no, we cannot have a Seminole. Oh no.
But that might be the real disruption that you need.
Listen, the University of Florida football is now Vanderbilt for the foreseeable future. The pipeline is empty. Once the pipeline gets empty, people are not going to go to the games. By the time the season's over, it's going to be 3 or 4 bored people in the parking lot eating deviled eggs, and just because they want to get away from their wife. I'll go anywhere. To leave the house. I got these tickets, honey. I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's a dead program, and college football. I'm sorry to say, it's semi-pro football.
They've ruined it. They've
ruined it. I don't watch it. I don't even care. And then the guy at FSU, they got to buy him out for $76 million.
And then Jimbo, remember Jimbo at Texas A&M? He got like what? Brian, what did he get? Like $59 million?
Oh, yeah, 78 million.
78 million.
But remember this. You know who got it for him? Jimmy Sexton, the agent. Whoever. If I'm a coach, I'm hiring Jimmy Sexton because he can get those. He scares these universities. You're going to lose. You're going to lose Billy Napier. It's like you're going to lose Billy Napier.
Now, John, are you guys with Demo being so? I know Demo's good friends with Cuban, and I know Demo's good friends with a lot of athletes. Are you looking maybe through Demo, or have you guys already established maybe a sports representative agent type deal?
Well, I have one. My partner lives in Tampa, Tom O'Connell, and when we first started the company, we called it Legend Sports. Now we call it O'Connell. One of our players is Zach Eflin, who got traded from the Rays to Baltimore. So we have a baseball business already that Tom O'Connell, if anybody needs representation, we're your team. And he's right there in Tampa Bay. And we have some great players. But Demo kind of has moved more to law than, he was interested in basketball.
Right.
And basketball is a dirty, dirty, dirty game. I mean, it's payola, and the players are taking payola from like 10 people, at the same time.
And it's shoe deals, and it's just really bad.
Deals, yeah. It's just, and in Florida, if you pay money, it's a third-degree felony. So it's almost impossible for Demo to. He tried it. He ran all those traps. He got close with a couple of players, but.
And then these players just absolutely become way over the top demanding. Like you almost got to be a babysitter, right? I mean,
Oh, listen, Nick Buoniconti Sr. Nick Buoniconti Jr. was a member of Morgan & Morgan. Nick Buoniconti Sr. was the great Dolphin. He was a sports agent. And I asked him, I said, what made you get out of the business? He said, one time I went to Buffalo, or I met Jim Kelly in Buffalo. I'm going to try to represent Jim Kelly. No, in Miami. And he goes, I have a meeting with Jim Kelly, and he's, talking to me. And then he says, all right, I got to go to the airport. He said, I drop him off at the airport, but I kind of stayed out there because I had an inkling. He said, Kelly walked to the airport, stayed for about 10 minutes, and then walked out and got in another car and drove somewhere else. And he goes, that was the day.
So Jim Kelly was just playing him.
He was just, he wasn't playing him, but he wasn't really going back home. He wasn't going home. He was working to see who could give him the most. There's nothing wrong with that. But a guy like Nick Buoniconti Sr. to be chasing, because he was the 17-0 Dolphins. He was the captain.
The 72. So
the 72.
Did anybody ever ask you this? And this is kind of a goofy question. What do you think Mr. Calling and Mr. Gilbert are thinking nowadays?
They're still in business.
Mr. Calling, this is a shock. Mr. Calling, who was in best health of all of us, died jogging at age 50.
Whoa. Really? Because for those that don't know, John, it was for with your
Morgan, Calling, and Gilbert.
Yeah, Morgan, Calling, and Gilbert. That as a being a longtime Floridian, that's what it was. Morgan, Calling, and Gilbert.
And by the way, Stewart, I bought them both out for a little bit of money.
Right.
Stewart died jogging with his son at age 50. Stewart would be 65 now. So he's been dead 15 years, and he died running in front of Doc Rivers' house in Winter Park. So he's not he's hopefully – I was at his father's funeral on Saturday, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
The dad was 94. And Stewart's brother, Jay, and I went to Winter Park High together. We're best buddies. And Gilbert, he's just a good guy. I mean, I made him an offer. At the time, I was expanding. They wanted to close Jacksonville. They wanted to close Fort Myers. They didn't want to spend money. And so I bought them out for very little money.
Was that what it was, John, though? Just a difference of vision, and you had the vision for the bigger things, and
yeah, we were
just
taking
weren't
our
thinking
profit.
big?
We were pouring it into Jacksonville and Southwest Florida. They wanted the profit to go. Look, when I bought them out, the first thing Ron Gilbert did was he bought a big boat. And you know what they say about the
Boats.
3 Fs? If it flies, floats, or Fs, rent it.
It's cheaper to rent it.
Cheaper to rent it.
Right.
But Ron went and bought a big boat. And, that told me everything.
They say that in boat owners, there's only 2 great days in boat owners: the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Listen, I don't like boats. A lot of people do. I don't want to be on a boat. I don't like to fish. If I want to fish, I go to the fish market and buy fish. And these time we're going to catch and release. Why? It's like, it's like shooting deer. We're just going to shoot them in the leg. But
John and I share this philosophy.
And when people try to give me venison, they're like, but the venison's so good. I said, it tastes like shit. I can smell, I can taste the fur. I can smell the fur on the plate.
Do you still have that one famous basketball player from the Magic work for you?
Work for him? You mean Grant Hill?
Yeah.
We're partners, and he never worked for me.
Oh, because he was there when I was there that day, and I interviewed.
Oh yeah, we have businesses together. We have a lot of real estate. Grant's now. We talk all the time. Grant's now head of USA Basketball. Grant owns a piece of the Atlanta Hawks. Grant Hill could be the governor of Florida. He's the guy. He's a guy that's a transformative figure that everybody loves. He's smart as hell. He's rich as hell. To me, he's Peyton Manning's football, Derek Jeter's baseball, Grant Hill's basketball. When you look at the greats.
When I was there, he had. I thought he had an office there, and I met him with you. I didn't just know he was a splinter off on your other 85 things that you own. I didn't know. I thought that he was a lawyer or something like that.
He could be. He's on the Duke board. The Grant Hill.
And then you got the guy that oversaw the Casey Anthony. Is he still with you, or did he retire?
Jose Baez?
No, not that idiot. The guy, the judge.
Oh, Belvin Perry. He retired this year.
Yeah, he was. You had him working for you.
He retired. He's fantastic. He's 75, and he's hung up his robe, and he is a phenomenal guy. He was like the first African American lawyer in Florida.
Wow.
In Central Florida.
John Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, for the people, pound law, that's all, $1 a holler, you name it. I've been friends with him for such a long time, and I was just thinking about him yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to call him up, see what he's doing. He was poolside with a margarita, and I said, John, will you come on the show tomorrow? Because there's a lot of topical things to talk about. And he's like, Bubba, for you, I will. So, John, thank you so much. I'd love to have you on from time to time. You're just so insightful, and you've been such a great friend to me, and I can't thank you enough for coming on today, bud.
Well, I think the world of you. I think you're one of the most clever guys I've ever been around, and all of my children love you too.
Yeah.
So, it's like my brother Tim used to say, dogs know. Well, I say my children sign off on somebody. It's like Tim would say about dogs know. If my children love you, you've passed the test, Bubba.
Thank you, my friend.
We got to see that Bubba Clem Morgan & Morgan commercial like Ronnie Mund.
Yeah. Maybe, huh?
Maybe.
John, I'll be in touch, and tell Demo and Matt I said hi, my friend.
Make sure you play Blowing All My Stacks today.
Oh, I will. or who's buying the sides or something like that. Remember that was another single.
Sides for the table.
Sides for everybody, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, love you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan. What a great dude, man.
He's solid.
And what a really, really great setting to talk to him, where he's just, really casual. And
he's got a Diddy story, an OJ story. Yeah. I mean, holy hell.
Hold on. Paul Bearer for Johnny Cochran. He's just, we need to have him on once a month.
Yeah, just story time with John would be, he should do a podcast.
He should.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Oh, that's refreshing.
Oh, I got somebody help it. Seth, jump on the.
Oh, he's on Team Bubba.
He is?
Yep, I see him on AI right now making up a parody song called I Greatly Dislike Babyface.
Oh. Seth, see, you can feel me, can't you? Because it gets a little.
I'm not even. I was just breathing after the interview. I was just getting up and
I thought you'd help. I thought you'd help jump on for me.
I get it.
He's a real fucking prick.
It's a shovel-faced little fucker.
Little fuck.
Yeah, a little horny little fucking shovel.
Yeah, really deep down, he's probably a fucking perv.
Oh, it's not even deep down, but it's on the surface.
Yeah.
It's pouring out of him. It's oozing.
I'm oozing. That was a great interview, Bubba.
Did I hit all the stuff? I think I did.
Yeah, I think it was great. It was great. I could hear him talk forever.
Oh, he's got so many.
Well, he's just got, that's the thing. When you think about great, captivating people, you've got the class of people that are like Barack Obama, and there's just smooth, aspirational orators that you want to hear talk and that inspire you. But then you have the guys like him and Bill Clinton who are just conversational grounders and storytellers that draw you in with their approachability.
Yeah, I mean, Clinton, Clinton was, being a Republican, Clinton was a great president, but the thing that him and Barack have, great presidents, no matter who you are, Republican or Democrat, they're great speakers. Ronald Reagan was a fucking storyteller. Barack Obama was a great speaker. Clinton was a great speaker, and to an extent, even though he wasn't nearly as smart, George W. Bush, not as
he has that aw shucks.
Yeah, he has that
charm.
Rugged Texan kind of deal.
Right, that's what Morgan has. He's got that aw shucks. Now he has the intelligence to go with it, but he's got that aw shucks. Just I could talk to the guy all day.
Yeah, and that's a relationship I probably should lean harder on because he fucking absolutely loves me. He's my.
I mean, the fact that he'd come on your show on one call notice and say, "Sure thing, man."
Yeah, I mean,
he's good people.
I should get a hold of Avenatti and see.
We're on.
No, I know, but they don't know.
I know, but
they can put two and two together.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I know he's active on Twitter. He uses his Twitter.
I don't know how you do that from jail.
I think he's in. He's actually in There's this federal. I know where he's at. I looked it up. There's this federal prison in L.A. at the port of L.A.
Oh, okay.
They took the port of L.A. They took it was a military establishment, and they turned it into kind of like a Eglin. Eglin Air Force Base has Club Fed,
Club Fed. Yeah.
So that's where he's at, and I think with that you get some
tablets. Tablet time.
I think maybe you get
some tablet time in jail.
Get an iPad.
Well, look at the Tiger King guy.
Yeah.
He got the time on his phone.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Hey, isn't that cool when he said Bill Clinton looked me up?
Yeah. He's like, oh, too bad he's not still married.
But wait.
I would have taken a ride on that train. Not after Hogan, though.
And if you listen to Clem Cush this week, you'll find out if Bubba would have let me bang Heather back in the day.
Yeah. Right. Here's the thing. Heather would just absolutely have turned him out. You couldn't even handle her. She's just a fucking animal.
Wildcat.
She was a wildcat. She was this right here.
She would shoot you up and spit you out, so.
How did Hogan handle her?
She was like.
Because Hogan has the 24-inch python and
he's got a fucking 10-inch thermos.
Yeah.
That's Heather. You'd be like.
Your sippy cup would be just totally lost it.
Yeah. You'd have to go to the fucking guava store after her.
Hogan has a thermos.
Hopefully everybody.
You're bigger to me than a sippy cup, buddy.
What's that, Lummy?
Oh, Brian just called Seth's dick a little sippy cup.
Hey, and Brian, it worked out perfectly. Lummy. We took it. We were at it. We went 40.
Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
Much love and thanks to John Morgan. What a great interview. I mean, I'm not trying to say I interviewed him good, but I think I had a fun time. Anytime that you interview a guy and it feels like not an interview, that you're just talking, I think that's one of the equations of having a good interview. And Brian said during the hot mic, and I agree, I could just sit back and just listen to him tell stories. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a spin on Billy Napier or how he met Donald Trump, you know?
Yeah. Story time with John Morgan would be a great podcast.
Hello.
Hey, Bubba, what's going on? It's Don in Atlanta.
Don in Atlanta, we're getting ready to say goodbye real fast, but we'll take your call real fast before we go.
Real fast.
Real fast.
Yes, sir, I understand. Sorry to bother you guys. Listen, just wanted to say I absolutely love you guys. I found you guys through Shannon when he was added to the Florida
Real
Man
fast.
radio lineup.
Right.
Yes, sir, yes, sorry. If you want to transfer me, the reason my call is I am moving and I pre-ordered some slides. I wanted to see if there's any way I could change the address.
Oh, she has a majority of those out, but if you give, let me put you on hold. If you give Lummy your name,
send you another pair
and your name and address, maybe she hasn't packed and shipped yours yet, and she can make a change.
Okay.
So let me give you to Lummy, and he'll get that information. Okay, bud?
Hey, thank you so much, man. And again, I appreciate you taking the call.
Appreciate you, buddy.
We
Hold
got
on.
3 more customer service calls, but we got to get to.
Just wanted to give you some props, Bubba, for not promising John Morgan a skag.
You're such a dick. Funny. What a dick. He wouldn't even, man, Bubba, I'm going to be honest with you. I hire people to do that for me.
On your fruit farm in Hawaii, do you need a skag mower?
No.
You got a ride on? How big's the property? Get you a backhoe from Sunbelt Rentals.
I don't know what's next. I think today's a short day for us.
Loner and Stoner's out.
Are we doing a blizzard, Seth, or no?
Yeah, we're recording a blizzard.
Oh, yeah, there we go. He needs some numbers, kid, and Blizzard moves the needle.
Come on, people, please listen to the blizzard, please.
Brr.
Seth's going to stop doing it if you don't listen.
Download the blizzard. Brr.
Yeah, let me get a hold of her right now so she doesn't miss it.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
Me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lummit.
I'm just straight for the slate markings. Number 2, take 2. Seth Kushner describes what he does here at the BRN and action.
Seth Money is zesty co-host and president of podcasting.
That's it? That's how you want it?
Do I need more?
Good evening.
Co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council. Co-host J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Rhett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited. We must dissuade him of this delusion. Until next time, always remember.